The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Chats on fire, burning the world fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king of peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Chats on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king of peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost souls shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
Oh, hell yeah. What a good day. Austin Drummond off the streets. And I've seen what y'all been saying in the chat room already. Dolly just woke up. No, Dolly's been awake. I've been following what's been going on. I had to do running some errands today. So I told y'all yesterday that I couldn't be here in the morning with you guys. For anybody that pays attention, I couldn't be here. But yes, I was following it. Thank you for everybody that sent the information. And there was just no way for me to go live at that present time. I had to take care of the doggies. I had to go pick up my prescriptions. So I was doing some running around, got me some lunch. Now I'm back with you beautiful people. So if you're here with me today, make sure you leave your DNA on that like button, just in case you go missing and I got to send the Mexicans out to find you, because they'll find you, right? They'll spot you in the woods or in the field or wherever you at. They'll get you. Okay, they will get you. I know somebody just got them $30,000, and I bet you they're having an even better day than Dolly. Okay, so make sure you leave that DNA on file. Also, make sure you sub up if you're brand new. It's been crazy the last couple days. Now, I expect it to calm down a little bit now, and we can kind of get back to some of the missing people cases, which is good. I'm glad this man has been caught. And if you don't know what happened, basically, there were some people out working and they seen him walking around in the woods. They instantly called the police and they arrested him. He looked tired. He looked defeated. He did not put up a fight, which I thought he would. I mean, why go get the camos? Why heavily arm yourself just to surrender? Now, let me tell you this. If he would have had a Snickers bar, if he would have found a Snickers on the way, if one of them doors would have been unlocked and he would have got him a Snickers bar, he would have put up a fight. But you're just not yourself when you're hungry. Okay, you're just not yourself when you're hungry. And he does look like, I seen you guys saying, he looks like he's aged 20 years since this happened. Now let's go ahead and share the mugshot. Let's go ahead and share it. He's hating life. There ain't no other word for it but hating life. And we still don't know the motive of why this man did what he did. But let's just be thankful that he was captured, that he didn't put up a fight, that he didn't hurt anybody else in the process of this horrible, terrible crime he committed. Now, just in case you live in a cave and don't know what he did, he unalived 4 people in a rural area of Dyer County, Tennessee, right near a prison. It is believed that he was smuggling things into the prison via drone. But for some reason, he killed his girlfriend's sister's family. 4 people, one of them as young as 15 years old. There was also a baby that was there, and that baby was dropped off 20 miles from the unalive location, left in the yard of some people's house. Just thank God they were good people. They called the authorities, which put out the APB for the parents of the baby. Police went searching, found the vehicles and the 4 deceased bodies of the victims, and instantly started a manhunt. Within the first day, they named a suspect, Austin Drummond, which is the guy you see captured here on the screen. He went on a massive manhunt for this guy. He really, you would think most criminals that would commit a crime like this, they would take off, they would get away from the area where they committed this crime. The capture train busted. Yes, thank you for jumping on the Dolly train today. I know I'm a little late getting here, but I got here as soon as I could with you guys. I knew by now y'all would all know this information. All right, but I'm just giving a little recap on it. Looks like drugged out. Yeah, he looks tired. He looks wore out is more what it looks like to me, that he was just overrunning, right? That's why he surrendered without a fight. That's why he gave up. He didn't try to run when people seen him. He just gave up the fight. He was hungry, tired. You can just tell. He had been walking around, and you can't sleep. So he's probably not slept in days. He's probably in a jail cell right now, sleeping. I mean, that's what I would think. He's probably feels relieved that he's been caught. I know that sounds crazy. You don't think people want to get caught, but when you're out in the woods and you're getting bit up by bugs and you sleeping on the ground and all your friends are in jail, you have no help, okay? Because all his help, they arrested. All 4 people charged with accessory to commit murder after the fact for him to get caught. So you helped this guy for nothing, and he still got caught. Now these people are facing 1 to 6 years in prison for the charges of accessory to commit murder after the fact. Horrible situation to be in if you're one of his friends, right? So he put his friends in a bad spot, definitely in a bad spot. Let me read this. My producer just sent me this. No, he was holed up in a pool house off Driftwood Drive. Okay, so he was held up in a pool house. He had a place to sleep. And, he wasn't doing bad. I don't know why he looked so wore out. But even if you got a place to sleep and, we know that first night he didn't. He may have had a pool house last night, because that first night he was walking around the church from 11 to 4 a.m. He may have been hiding up in there during the daytime hours, but either way, he was seen. Let me get to this. The guy that saw him called it in, and, they were working. Let me go to this feed. PJ, that link didn't work. It just took me to a feed. It didn't take me to the feed. Yeah, there was a crew out there working. They looked out there. They saw him walking around, and they immediately called police. I was just watching it earlier. I can't believe he had so many helping him. I thought the same thing, especially when he, what reason do you have to help this man? Okay, I'm getting your messages now. Okay, 1 second. Send me the interview that the guy that seen him did with him, that had seen him. I can hear my phone going off, but my computer's loading everything slow. And I'll play that interview for you guys. But today, good day. He's off the streets. Look, nobody else got hurt. And that's really all that matters. I don't know why my computer's not loading any of these videos that you were sending me, but it's not. Hold on a second. They're coming through on my phone. They're just not coming through on my computer. So hold on a second, PJ, before you send anything else, because it's overloading the computer and they're not loading whatsoever. Let me refresh this. Maybe it'll pop up. But right now, everything you're sending is not loading. Okay, they just loaded. All right, give me 1 second.
Well, what happened was we are working over here, and we saw the guy walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought, like, nobody wants to walk in the middle of the wood, in the middle of this stuff. So we was kind of like very sure it was the guy. So I called the police immediately when the guy was walking right there, and kind of like give them the location and everything. And they be hearing about, actually I was on the phone when they got here. So and I'm really glad they got it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The hero. That's great job,
they
big
are
dog.
the hero. I just called them, I just called them. They are the heroes.
No, I wasn't the last one to know. I was at the vet's office and I had to go pick up my prescriptions. I've been known. PJ stays on top of everything. Okay. So I definitely knew. I just couldn't get here till I got here. And then when I got here, I was eating lunch. So I finished eating my food, got me some water, and here I am. I knew the Mexican gentleman had seen him in the woods, called the police on him. He surrendered without a fight. I knew all these things. What we don't know is the motive of why he would have done something like this. That's still unclear. You're always eating. LOL. I got to eat. Okay. You don't got to eat. There's a few things you got to do in this world. You got to eat. Yeah. And I mean, stuff happens, right? Sometimes you get busy. I have a life outside of YouTube also. Just because you don't, right? Troll. Don't mean I don't. Okay. Sometimes I got stuff to do, or I may be sleeping. It depends however I feel. Like my day I don't plan my day around YouTube. Okay. I YouTube when it's convenient for me, not when it's convenient for whoever else. It's when it's convenient for me. Right. So could I have jumped up here this morning and canceled my plans? I could have, but I didn't. Okay, because it don't matter that much to me. The story ends today. Today's the ending of it. All the hype and speculation and all that stuff, it pretty much ends today with him being captured. I mean, he's done. I mean, this is pretty much over as a story. We move on to the next one. Okay. That's just the way it goes right now. I don't know why everything is being so slow loading. It is absolutely crazy. I might need to reset my computer, but this is the scene today. You see all the SWAT thing. So heavy response when they seen him, which is the same type of response we seen yesterday. I knew that this wouldn't go on long, especially with the fact that we seen him walking around on camera. They knew he was in the area, but thank God this gentleman seen him, called it in, and he was just overrunning. It looks like he was trying to probably get into that church to get food, supplies, right? But I don't know. He didn't seem to try very hard to get away. And some people are saying he's stupid and he's this. Yeah, he is stupid to commit a crime like this. Dolly got to eat, sleep. Yep, leave him alone. Yes, thank God. Yeah, I didn't know I got paid by so many people, okay, to tell me when I have to be here, when I don't, okay? Make sure you send my paycheck, all right? Thank you, Annie. Thank you for covering it. Been waiting all morning for Dolly. So glad everyone is safe and he didn't use that gun. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I guess he knew it was over. I really did not think he would go back to prison, right? I thought he was going to put up a fight for sure, right? I just couldn't see why he would go get all them military fatigues, arm himself to the hilt like he did, and then just surrender without a fight. So I didn't see that coming. I didn't see the surrendering coming. I didn't think this man would want to go back to prison, but probably in his mind, he's thinking, well, I've had it so good in prison, with the flat screens, TVs. And that's probably, since he's been in there since he was a kid for the last 10 years, that's probably really the only life he knows is prison. And to see him surrender is a miracle, right? Because I was thinking whatever cop first walks up on him is in trouble, because that weapon he has will definitely go through a bulletproof vest, and there may be more people that end up losing their life. Now, I'm curious, is that the gun he used to unalive these people, or did he have more weapons on him? Where are the camouflage clothes that he was wearing? Where's the book bag? Where's the gun? That type of stuff. Was it still stuffed at the pool house where he was hiding out? I don't know. I mean, I guess in the next few days, he may tell why this happened, but seriously, I doubt it, because the first thing he's probably going to do as a criminal is deny he did it. I doubt he walks in there and goes, yeah, I killed these 4 people, because there's really no witnesses to the murders. Okay. Nobody was there to see him do it. So he can say, oh, I ran because I knew y'all wanted me and y'all were suspecting me of this crime, but I didn't commit it. So most criminals don't plead guilty. They even Kohlberger, Stephen Stearns, all these people pleaded innocent. And I guarantee you, he does the same thing. Now, will he get the death penalty in Tennessee? I don't know. I do not know. With no shower in several days, I bet he is stinking. I bet you he is too. And another thing is, why did he stay in the area? Why did he stay around the girlfriend's apartment? That's my curiosity. You don't run if you didn't do something. I would agree with that. I mean, we know he did it, but you still got to prove he did it, right? And we'll get to hear what evidence they have against him, what led them to knowing it was him, right? Or unless it was another family member that said, hey, he was supposed to meet them. Or was it a setup? Was this family, these people involved in something bad? Today was Matthew's memorial, his service from 12 to 2 today. And it's good that they got him before that transpired, because we were asking his dad last night, are you worried about this with this man being on the loose, heavily armed, and you got this service about to kick off? And he said no, that him and his family were strapped up and that the TBI would be at the service for Matthew today. So he wasn't really worried about Drummond, you know, hurting his family or bothering his family anymore. Now, who else was involved in this? Is there still more people out there that haven't been arrested? I would think that's the $1 million question. Dolly, do you think they're going to be allowed to bond out? Him? No. Already 2 of the people have bonds. $250,000 are their bonds. These are the people that are charged with conspiracy. No, I mean, not conspiracy. Yeah, one of them's charged with conspiracy to conspire to violate the U.S. Drug Act. The other one is charged with accessory after the fact, first-degree murder. They both have a $250,000 bond. Okay, so yes, they could bond out. As far as Drummond, and yeah, no, they're not letting him go. I mean, they should have never let him go the first time. Dolly, we just love you and PJ. We were being bossy. We just wanted to get the news from y'all because we love you and you do a great job. Thank you, Miss Puddin'. Not a problem. I mean, I got here as soon as I could get here with you guys, right? My schedule's freed up. And it was crazy because I was trying to get these things taken care of because I was going to head to Tennessee. But thank God, I thank little baby Jesus that because I just got my prescriptions today, right? So that means I can leave. I can't leave without, medicines I need to stay alive. So I took care of that. I took care of getting Wrangler stuff for his allergies because our little French bulldog has really bad allergies. He's allergic to life. And if he don't have his medicines, he gets rashes and he starts to scratch and he'll lick his paw for like 2 straight hours. It's weird shit, right? And it's aggravating as hell. So I had to make sure he was taken care of today, that my stuff was taken care of today. And then I just went and grabbed lunch. So I ate some grilled chicken tacos. If y'all want to know, that's what I had for lunch. Some grilled chicken. They were pretty delicious. All right. I tried to have some sugar-free Minute Maid with it. Oh my God, that stuff is so nasty. I don't know how people drink sugar-free stuff. It's just because I'm trying to cut out the sugar. I know this is a little squirrely. That's why I've been drinking so much water. I haven't had a soda in 4 days. I took 2 sips of a Minute Maid, sugar-free Minute Maid, and it was like, ugh! And I was just like, I thought the water was bad. This Minute Maid stuff is horrible. Yum. Where'd you get those? LOL. Oh, Del Taco, right? Because it's right there by the vet. So I went to the vet. I went to Del Taco. Then I went and picked up my prescriptions. Then I came back to the house. Then I ate my tacos. And then I came here, set up the live, made the thumbnail, grabbed me some water. Bam, and here we are. Okay, if y'all want to know my whole day and what was going on with me, I mean, I was following everything that was going on. I knew he was captured, but I can't just stop everything I'm doing. The one thing I didn't get done is I was supposed to go to the post office today, and I didn't get that done. So PJ, when you get here, we'll run to the post office. Dolly, go do what Dolly got to do. I did. I took care of everything but going to the post office. And I'll go to the post officer. I can't even talk now. Post office later this evening. So it's good that this story's over. And listen, these types of things happen all the time, right? There's so much to talk about in true crime and just crime news in general that these stories move quickly. I'd rather it end. I'd rather it be justice than talk about the same thing for 6 months. That's the good thing about crime news is it's pretty quick, except for missing people. When you talk about missing people, that goes on for years. All right. We've been talking about Summer Wells for 4 years. We've been talking about Michael Vaughn for 4 years. We've been talking about Sebastian Rogers for 2 years. We've been talking about Jack and Lily Sullivan now going on almost 4 months. Right. So only time stories drag usually is when they're missing people, because sometimes they're never found, or families involved, and they just never go to jail. So, yes, I believe it's really all connected. Somehow, there's a reason why, I guess the only speculation left is why he did this. Now we know he's caught. We know he's a gang member. We know he's going to prison forever. We know he's never getting out again. He'll never do this again. But why did he throw? I mean, I guess he already knew he was going to prison for the attempted unaliving in the prison. So he had court coming up this month. You mentioned that you had to get all that done yesterday. I figured that's why you haven't went live yet. And that's totally understandable. Yes, I mean, listen, there's things that are more important than YouTube, okay, that I have to take care of. But when I can be here, I am here. And usually most of my days are free, right? But I had planned this, trying to get this done because I was technically trying to go to Tennessee. So I was trying to get everything done. But once I knew he caught him, right, he was caught, then I was a little bit slower about doing things because I was like, okay, he's caught. Ain't nothing going to change that, right? I mean, he's done. And there's a lot of YouTubers up here that are right on top of this, that, they YouTube 24/7 a day. And I knew they'd be covering it, right? So it's not a race to me to be the first one to bring you the news. It's me to bring you good news, right? That's accurate and on point. I'm not in a race against other YouTubers to be the first one to tell you the story. Okay. There's a billion YouTubers. You can't outrun them all. Okay. I've learned that. Hi, Dolly. Hey guys. Welcome. Well, like I said, good news today. This ain't going to be a real live today because I'm actually going to be kicking back, watching some TV and relaxing because I've been going hard for the last week on this case, and every now and then even I need a little break. Okay, we did yesterday we streamed for 10-11 hours like alone, and then the day before and the day before. So when they caught this dude, I'm almost as wore out as he is. And every now and then you need that break. It's summertime. And usually I don't stream as much in the summer because I like to enjoy my summer a little bit. And this summer, I just really been getting it so hard on YouTube that we ain't really had a chance to enjoy our summer. Me or PJ, she's been working so hard, and she's working full time. And then when she gets here, she's working with me. And so we just been going. But we do have a vacation planned coming up, and we're going to do it in September. We were planning on going to CrimeCon, but it looks like we probably are not going to do CrimeCon. So that gives us a little bit of free time. So I am super grateful he's found, and I will be bringing you more updates on this as more information develops in it. Like if there's a reason if he comes out and says there's a reason he did this, or there's any proof that there's any more involvement or anything that other than what we know now, right? And we pretty much know everything right now up to this point until they interrogate them, until, people start talking now that they have them. The police are likely to release a lot of the information that we didn't have prior to this. I just got the notification. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you. Got to take care of yourself. No excuses for his actions. Okay, fine. No need to explain. No, I just I like to talk, right? And I'm a talker, so I'll just share that with you guys. So like I was saying, we got a vacation coming up that we're going to take, and there might be a little bit of time that we're not streaming. We were planning on doing CrimeCon, I believe the 5th through, I don't know, it's like a week, right? PJ took off a week to do CrimeCon. And then of course CrimeCon said that I'm too controversial. All right. So they won't let me take part in CrimeCon, won't let me get a booth. So we decided, hey, we're going to do something else. So we may take a cruise on those dates. We're going to the Bahamas. All right. I may take y'all with me. I ain't promising you nothing, but I think we're going to go to the Bahamas here coming up. So I will have a little break because my birthday comes up the 23rd, and this is probably going to be my birthday present. Me and PJ are going to the Bahamas. So they just arrested a woman. Did they? Another one? Found you by accident when this whole thing started. Glad I did. DNA left. Thank you, Danny. Oh, my word. I would have to make it back. Yes, you don't take us with you. You and PJ enjoy it. Dolly, take me to the Bahamas. LOL. It's my birthday. Yeah, it's me and PJ's birthday. Our birthdays are back to back. So we, like I said, we were going to take that vacation time and go to Crime Con and meet people and, you know, promote Dolly Vision and do all that stuff. But it looks like we might not be doing that. Colorado, I just don't seem that fun to me, right? Not in the summertime. Maybe in the wintertime, you can go out there and go snowboarding, tubing, stuff like that. But in the summertime, I don't want to be in Colorado. Now, I know there was a woman arrested yesterday, right, which would have been the fourth person. Now, I don't know if there's a fifth person that's been arrested yet. I'm not quite sure. My birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy birthday. I hope you have an excellent one. Wherever you go, have a great time. Chopped liver, baby. Good luck getting to the Bahamas during hurricane season. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. We know that. But there are cruises that are going that way. And so we'll battle the hurricanes. I ain't scared of no damn hurricane. In worst case scenario, we'll fly to Bahamas. We won't take a cruise. We'll fly down there, right? We'll fly around the hurricane. Dolly, you are so wrong about Colorado in the summertime. It's a lot better than the wintertime. Okay, well, I've never been to Colorado. I just, you know, I just don't really want to go. Dolly, I see there is a press conference. What time is the press conference? We'll watch it live here together. But my plan was not to be here long today, you know. But I would like to know a little of stuff that we don't know. One year you took a cruise to Bahamas. Alabama is the 21st. Dolly's is the 23rd. All right, hold on. Producer. Hello? Oh, okay. Was it the last thing you sent me? Okay, I don't see. Okay, what you sent me, the press conference is at 3:30 their time, so that's 4:30 our time. Oh, 3:30 our time, so it'll be in 45 minutes. Okay, where's the video you sent? Is this the 101.5? Every video you sent me short. Yeah. Yes.
And walk around. There it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll share that till the press conference starts. Okay. All right. And I'll retitle this press conference. All right. Bye. Okay, so we got a press conference coming up at 3:30. All right, so I guess they're going to give the latest updates at 3:30. So I didn't make it for the capture, but I'm here for the press conference. All right, early. See, technically I'm early. Austin got arrested this morning. Yes, their press conference is at 3:30 our time, 2:30 their time. You didn't miss the presser, no. So we got 40 minutes before the press conference starts. So we are early. We're good to go. And awesome. I'm glad we made it in time for at least for the press conference. Like I said, I was tied up this morning, so I couldn't be here live with you as the bust took place. But we are here now. All right. That's all that matters. And this is just a little bit of filler, but we're going to do a little recap of what's been going on and his capture.
On your screen, this was just from the other night. You can see he's got a weapon there, just sort of wandering up. I mean, eerie to think that someone like that is walking around in a neighborhood.
Yeah, police told us that he was described with having a rifle. He had a brown backpack, that he was dressed in camouflage clothing, but that also this video, it's important to note, was time-stamped for Sunday, August 3rd of 2025 at around 11 o'clock that night. Again, this is video that came given to us by Jackson Police, but it was actually from a nearby church in the area.
Yeah, and again, as I said, they thought he was perhaps out of the area as this manhunt has gone on for several days, but clearly that was not the case. We had a huge law enforcement presence there in the Jackson area yesterday as well, looking for Drummond. There was some thought perhaps they had located him yesterday on Monday. They did not, but today, again, we can say accused quadruple killer Austin Drummond has been found, and he is in custody, really hopefully putting an end to this stage of the hunt for justice now, which really gets in earnest for that family.
Yes, we still have a lot of ways to go within this investigation and within this case. But this, again, as Kevin is mentioning, is a very big first step. What we also can tell you is that we are still asking questions of police. We do have a crew on the way to the scene right now. The TBI is also preparing for a press conference that we will air in its entirety later on this afternoon. We do now have his arrest photo. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This will give us a clearer picture of maybe the state he was in while he was arrested. This photo from the TBI of Austin Drummond.
That is certainly an eerie thing to take a look at. There was certainly some wondering if he was going to be able to be taken alive, as we saw him walking around with that weapon, certainly primed for some kind of confrontation. But it's good news in terms of getting greater justice and maybe a little more clarity about what may have happened or occurred. That's really the ultimate question right now. You don't want to get too much into the speculation, but obviously when you have a quadruple murder, there's a lot of questions that are going to be asked as to how exactly that situation could come to play. I mean, we could talk about the history of Drummond that has been certainly out in the open, out in public. He was arrested previously as a teenager for an armed robbery back in 2013 when he was, again, just a teenager, was sentenced to about 12, 13 years in prison, got out after about a decade just last year. He'd only been a free man for, I don't know, maybe 10 months or so. And now this incident, it certainly raises a lot of questions about, you know, what rehabilitating was really going on.
Yeah, and what really happened that sparked this whole thing to begin with? We have so many unanswered questions that hopefully we'll find some clarity and some answers to in just a little bit as the investigation now enters into this new phase. What we also can say too is that we're working to learn how this arrest was made. We're not sure if a tip led up.
Thank you to Restored Faith. Dolly, I love you how PJ supports you and your channel. Y'all are growing this together, and it is shows. I always look forward to hearing her laugh when you're live. Please take her to do something nice on me, and don't forget the rest when you need to. We appreciate you both. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Restored Faith, and big virtual hugs to you. Thank you for supporting the channel. And guys, if y'all just tuned in, make sure y'all give the video a like. We will have the press conference live for you guys in 30 minutes. Okay. This right now is just a little bit filler to get to the press conference. Just a recap of what transpired today. He was captured without incident. He was seen by some workers in the woods. They immediately called the police. The police went out there, SWAT team, everybody. He was captured. He stayed in the area, right? Which I don't know why. I believe he was hunting. I think he was trying to get his ex-girlfriend. Maybe he was going to unalive her. And maybe this hurting her family was because she left him. You know, a lot of people think it's all about drugs, but what if this is retaliation? Thank you, C. Perez, for his girlfriend leaving him. And he's just a sick, crazy man. And this woman decided to leave him. She is pregnant with his baby, and she decided to get away from him. And he retaliated by hurting her family. Now, we heard a lot of theories, but a lot of people are not talking about that one, because Caitlin has been with her family, but he has been hiding out near her apartment, right? Maybe waiting for her to come home, waiting for her to get something, but he hasn't left that area. So what reason would he have to stay in that area and be in military fatigues with such a high-powered rifle if he didn't plan on hurting somebody else? Just to surrender. I mean, or, you know, it's the other reason that they were involved in an operation, drugs, smuggling, and somebody didn't deliver a package or owed money and didn't pay it. I mean, I don't know. I hope he talks, and I'm glad that he was taken alive. Restored Faith just gifted $5 memberships too. So if you got one, make sure you give her a big virtual hug and thank her. Dolly, that would make sense to me. Could be to do her game over. Yeah, like maybe he was trying to hurt this woman. Maybe the person talking and telling things was her. And why did he not run? It makes no sense. You would think if you committed this type of heinous crime, you would try to get far away from the crime as you could, but he didn't. But that could also be from the police doing a great job and, you know, shutting down his friends, his support system. They shut down pretty quick.
To this arrest, we're not sure if police just stumbled upon him, if someone called them to go and look at someone that was suspicious in the area. We're not sure of those details yet, but we do know that there was a
No, we know there was a gentleman that called. He was out there working. He seen him in the woods, and he said that you don't be in the middle of the woods like that during the day, and he thought it was suspicious, so he immediately called the police. They went out there, and they arrested Austin Drummond without incident. He was staying in the pool house. He had a nice little fan, a little place to sleep, but I don't know, walking around, just wandering around, got him caught.
$2,000 reward for his capture.
Yeah.
We'll wait to get information to see if anybody will receive that, if it was a tip that brought investigators to Drummond.
Yeah, certainly there's been a lot of interest in financial incentive as well to locate Drummond. But as we saw the massive SWAT and law enforcement presence throughout this week, there was certainly
he should get the money
on display and being put to capturing Drummond. But there are 4 other people who were now in jail and have been arrested, accused of helping Drummond avoid capture. 4 different people who are accused to be accessories after the fact, as the terminology goes. They are Tanaka Brown, Giovante Thomas, Brandon Powell, and De'Ara Sanders. Now, Thomas is in the Madison County Jail. Unrelated charge. You're seeing them now on your screen. Of course, Drummond on the left. Thomas in the Madison County Jail on an.
Listen, if they don't give this man the rewards, then they shouldn't even offer rewards. They'll try to find some way to screw him out of this reward, right? That $30,000 or $32,000. That's a nice chunk of money, especially for a labor worker. And that seen him and, you know, called the police. You know, that guy could have saved 10 lives right there calling the police. So I believe he deserves that money. And I guarantee you, though, they try to find a way to not give it to him. Oh, we were in the area anyway or something. They'll try something.
Unrelated charge. He'll be transferred to the Lake County Jail. He and Powell will be in court on Thursday. Sanders is also being charged with accessory after the fact. If convicted, she could serve up to 6 years in prison. Brown's bond has been set at $250,000, and he is still in custody. I mean, when you have 4 people like that arrested, it certainly lends a little more credence as to how Drummond was able to evade capture here for close to.
Patty, that's what we were just talking
This
about.
is day 6 of that search. And it's obvious to see with the other people that have been arrested in connection to this case.
Sorry, guys. I kicked myself from the studio. That was insane. I'm sorry. I dropped my mouse. Let me share the screen with y'all again.
Connected to this case. We do want to go ahead and bring in our Leah Williams, who is also live in studio with us, to talk about this timeline of how we got here. Leah.
Yes, Siobhan, this was a very unique case and kind of odd case. So we want to take you back through on how all of this started. It all started last week. The Dyer County Sheriff's Office made a post on Facebook asking for help identifying an abandoned baby. Deputies found that baby around 3 o'clock last Tuesday afternoon. After that call that someone saw them drop off the baby.
So he was staying in a pool house. I will show y'all an image of where he was staying. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up for you. But he was literally staying in somebody's pool house. This is an image of it. All right. So he was staying right there. Look, he had a fan. He had a little mat on the floor. He was living large. Okay. He had some Corona. That's what it looks like behind him. Some Corona, some food. So he wasn't starving to death, or he was probably drunk. He had all that Corona. I see right there a case and a half of Corona. But he's, you know, that area he was in was really nice. It was a really nice area. Them homes look like $1 million homes, and all brick, and, you know, 3-car garages, and in a really good area of Tennessee. And he was on a mat on the floor right there, living his best life. He done built him a little prison cell. I hope he got used to sleeping on that mat, because that's what he'd be sleeping on for the rest of his life. Okay, so, but this is where he was staying. He was held up in a pool house off Driftwood Drive. So he didn't go far. He was staying in that area for some reason. I think he was hunting his ex-girlfriend, Caitlin. I think he was waiting for her to show back up, and he was going to try to hurt her, or she may have been the last victim. I think this may be, see, we all think Caitlin set it up, but what if that's not the case? What if Caitlin was his next victim and he couldn't get to Caitlin, so he hurt her family? Or there's a reason he took out the whole family. Yes, I have a channel mod. Post my link every now and then. I just mainly recap what we do here and discuss my life. Yeah, if you haven't, make sure you add my better half, PJ Vision. Same, just like Dolly Vision, but PJ Vision. Okay. She does her thing. You know, it's more of a how her day's going, life. She talks a lot about what we do here on this channel, what's coming to this channel, what we got going on, and a lot of things we do behind the scenes, like when we go out riding a slingshot, or we go to the park, or we go traveling. It's usually on PJ Vision. It's on her channel. I don't usually show a lot of that here, but we use her channel a lot for those types of things, to show you more of our personal lives. But this is where he was at. This is where he was staying. I guess he was staying here at least since last night. But he got up and he was walking through the woods, and one of the people out there working seen him, reported him. He was taken into custody without incident.
baby in a dark minivan in a car seat, and the baby was left on someone's front yard, and then the car took off. So this was at a stranger's house on Old Highway 20 near the Tigard area. And about an hour later, the department updated the post saying they did identify the baby. They also named Courtney Rose, Matthew Wilson, and Adrianna Williams, who we now know were victims in this case, as 3 people they wanted to question about that abandoned baby. Now, later in the evening, the Dyer County Sheriff's Office announced that the baby was a part of the case in Lake County. So again, this was a multi-agency, multi-county investigation. So investigators found 4 people dead on Carrington Road in Tiptonville. Wednesday morning, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation identified those victims again as James Wilson, Braydon Williams, Courtney Rose, and Adrianna Williams. The TBI confirmed that.
Well, it's their, listen, I don't know about boycotting CrimeCon. You know, it's their choice. It's their event. If they don't want me to be a part of it, that's fine. Like I said, CrimeCon ain't going to make or break this channel. So I wish them nothing but success with their event. It's just something that if they can't support me, I'm not going to support them, you know. And just like the last time they gave me my money back, a lot of the people showed up. I ain't saying a lot of they would have had a lot of people either way, but a lot of people showed up just to meet me, you know? So, and then, you know, we had to do something outside of CrimeCon. We went and had a dinner together so I could just hang out with my viewers. So they made a lot of money off my people in Nashville. Okay. Cause tickets were $400 a piece for CrimeCon. And, so they made a lot of money off the Dolly viewers, but won't represent Dolly with a banner and a table at their event. Okay. But they didn't have no problem taking Dolly Vision viewers' money. Right. They just ain't going to advertise us as there. But I still got to meet everybody. That was the cool part. You know, I just went there to meet you guys anyway. It ain't like I'm dying to be a part of their event. It's a good place for true crime people to come and me meet new people and be able to, you know, hang out with my viewers anyway. So, you know, more power to them. I don't wish nobody bad in this world, because when you wish bad on people, it always comes back to bite you in the ass. So I don't wish bad on them. You know, I hope everybody has success in life and their event successful and all that. It's just, we'll go to the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? We'll take our money and we'll spend it somewhere where we can have fun. And then, you know, CrimeCon to us is more like work. You know, it's me meeting people, taking pictures with people. It's fun too, but it's a mixture of work and fun. Whereas we go to the Bahamas, it's just fun. You know, we'll just go have fun, go swimming somewhere, go lay on a beach, have some nice drinks, enjoy the little bit of break that we do get, because, you know, wintertime's coming, and wintertime's the most busiest time on YouTube, because a lot of people are out, you know, enjoying their summer, and in the wintertime, everybody's kind of stuck in the house. So I'm YouTubing a lot in the winter, because even we're stuck in the house. So I'm just constantly on YouTube in the winter. So I only get a couple little breaks during the year, and PJ only gets 2 vacations. So we try to space them so that we can, you know, make the best of the time that we have. So if we go to the Bahamas, I won't be streaming much. I will bring y'all a little, you know, there quickly to show y'all what we're doing. And PJ may be streaming on her channel, but yeah, that's about it. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
All of these people were related to the baby. And then on Thursday, the TBI identified Austin Drummond, who they've been searching for days now, as the suspect on this case. He was on Tennessee's most wanted list, and there was a large reward for his capture. But again, he is in custody this morning. They found him earlier this morning. We don't have the details yet on how he was taken into custody or even how he was found. But again, Austin Drummond is in custody. Kevin, Yvonne.
Thank you for that, Leah. Yeah, certainly still a lot of things we're trying to learn here, and we'll continue to find out. We'll be on here for quite a while, gathering as much information.
1,000 likes. Thank you, guys.
Certainly, I think the big question right now, again, as we were just talking about, what led to this quadruple murder.
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard to fathom that
Yes.
someone.
Well, that beer was probably in the pool house, right? Because people usually keep stuff like that. Like even my pool area has a TV. It has a grill. I am going to put a mini fridge out there. I haven't yet, but and then, of course, usually people's pool house, they keep beer and liquor and different things in. So if they're ever having a little get together or social time, they can be out there drinking, so. And he was in a really nice neighborhood. Yeah, the press conference is coming up in 20 minutes. Don't worry, we're going to tune into that live. You're in the right place to watch the press conference. We ain't going to miss it. We're here.
Could do something like this. Certainly, especially someone who clearly, had friends in the community, had people that were willing and able to give him assistance after something like this occurring. It kind of, it scares you a little bit.
It does. I mean, this community, two different communities really, in Lake County and in Dyer County and in Jackson, people have been very concerned about this case and about what it's done to the community, just heightened the fear of so many people that have been there just trying to wrap their minds about not only the tragedy, but the fact that a man accused of these crimes was still on the streets. So we still have a lot more questions, especially like you were mentioning, Kevin. Why did this happen to begin with? How are all of these people connected? We are waiting still to get all of that on record. We know that the 4 victims are family members, but getting police to connect the dots with how Drummond knew them, if he knew them, how that all happened and worked.
Yeah, there's a complicated web that investigators certainly are still trying to work through at this time. As you talk about multiple crime scenes, multiple vehicles that were found. Some were taken. I believe one was found with bullet holes. It was taken back earlier. This was, when this investigation first got going. How he was able to get back from Lake County to Jackson. Is that where some of these other arrests came in, where someone was helping him get around? Because, it's unclear how any of the movements still at this time. To your point, we're still working to get a lot of those questions answered from investigators. Certainly they'll have more of an update for us later in the afternoon. But the big headline right there, Austin Drummond, accused quadruple murderer out of Dyer County, has been captured and he is in custody. You can see that photo right there. Certainly looks like he was someone that was perhaps living out in the woods out there. I don't know, don't want to speculate too much, but the good news is he is no longer literally walking the streets.
He don't look like he was sleeping good.
Absolutely. This is a photo from the TBI. This is the most recent photo that we have received this morning after the arrest and capture of Austin Drummond. But again, this story has just really paralleled and spanned so many neighborhoods, so many communities, so many people and families that have been on edge, waiting for police to make an arrest in a person they believed is connected to that quadruple homicide and the abandoned baby. All right, our crew that has been en route to the scene, they'll be there in about 15 to 20 minutes. We've just been told by our producers. And so it'll be a good idea for us to see the scene from their point of view and from their perspective. We know that a lot of law enforcement right now are in Jackson, presumably where that arrest took place or nearby.
Yes, he looks like he aged 20 years, and you can see how sweaty he was. He's dressed in warm clothing. Tennessee is hot as hell. Okay. It's like a damn sauna. And he was out there sweating. He was out there. I don't know. He looked miserable. He looked like he was ready to be called. He did shave. He shaved off his little mustache and beard. Press conference starts in 15 minutes. We will be live here for that press conference. Hopefully we'll get some information. We'll get some answers to why. Maybe they'll give a statement of what he said when he was captured. Dolly, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. Okay, I think you're a little behind in the video. Is it a hat or a hairpiece? I think the baby was his. That's why he saved the baby. A lot of people seem to think that, but that baby looks so much like Matthew that I'm pretty sure that was Matthew's kid. We are about to watch the press conference here. Stop mentioning other channels. We know there is a press conference. Yes. Don't be in here. We try to tell people this all the time. Please don't mention other channels in here. We are live covering the story. We don't want people in here sending people to other channels when we're trying to get you to watch it with us. Okay. So just sit back, relax. Know we're on top of it. We're here. When I'm here, we're on top of things. All right. We don't miss nothing. All right. I was busy this morning, but I am here in the flesh now. Okay. Open schedule. So whatever happens tonight, we are here for it. We got you. That baby is beyond adorable with her big old cheeks. Yes.
I mean, just seeing some of the photos that are coming out from investigators about the amount of police officers, the amount of vehicles that they have on the scene, they've certainly left no stone unturned trying to locate Drummond and where he is. We're thankful for that. But again, we do have a reporter, at actually several that are going to be out there. We'll have a lot more coverage on this throughout the day. But right now, we do know Austin Drummond has been captured. Hopefully, when you get him in custody like that, you'll be able to get some information from him as to what exactly led to this series of events that's kind of shocked the nation a little bit. It's been a national story. Anytime you have a crime that this gruesome, and then you've got the baby element as well. That was kind of the thing that topped it all off. There was a baby that we don't know how exactly, if it was this happened before, did this happen after, did he have the baby and have to get rid of it? Or, I don't want to speculate, but those are the questions that investigators are certainly going to be able to piece together a little bit better right now. We're thankful the baby was okay.
Yes, absolutely. And the only information we have right now, just so that you all are clear on that, was that the baby was found in Lake County. The bodies were found in Dyer County, just 30 minutes away from each other. The baby was found first, and then the 4 victims were found.
It is certainly the type of scene that you see in a movie or something of that sort, especially seeing some of the photos. Drummond, again, he had just been released from prison there in Tiptonville just late last year, comes out in, I believe, late 2024. Here we are midway through, a little bit past halfway 2025.
Okay, we're at the 15-minute mark. 15 minutes to press conference starts. We will be live with the press conference in 15 minutes, okay? Just letting y'all know, you're 15 minutes out from the press conference.
Now he's accused in this quadruple homicide. A lot of questions exactly about perhaps, how was he able to make bail and be out on parole in that situation?
He should have never been out.
Well, here in the Memphis area, that so-called revolving door, wouldn't say that's necessarily what occurred here, but anytime someone who's been in jail for that long gets out, immediately commits an act like this, you have nothing to do but ask that question.
Yes, it's a valid question of, should he have been out on the streets to begin with? That's a question that we'll be asking investigators, and so hopefully something that will come out in the new details that we'll receive later on today and in the weeks and months to come as we continue to cover this case. Let's go ahead and take a look at that surveillance video that we've been watching and looking at. I think that is really, really important in this conversation. We cannot say for certain that Drummond didn't leave Jackson, but maybe he did not. Maybe he had been there the whole time. Again, this video was taken on Sunday, which is August 3rd, around.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the press conference and just wait it out. Give me 1 second.
Able to connect the victims to the baby, to then Drummond and maybe his relationship with the victims, if there is one. A lot to unfold here. We know that this is going to be a lot of attention on this press conference. You have national news outlets that are in town for this as well. Are we tossing it back to?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do now is while we wait for that press conference to start, Desmond Nugent has been in the field all day long, and he's been speaking to people, and he was able to catch up with a neighbor that was able to express just how relieved they are that Austin Drummond was caught.
Actually, we have a resident here by the name of Shannon Tabor. Tell me just about what life has been like here for you. You're able to finally run probably for the first time in days, right?
Yes, sir. I've been a little frustrated because I've been a prisoner in my own home. I've had the sheriff's department parked in my driveway. I've had unmarked police cars up and down my street, and it's been scary. My kids have been scared, and we've been a little nervous, so we've stayed in our home. We've kept the doors locked. We've kept the alarm on.
Good thing.
At night, we turn on all the lights and just pray he doesn't come to my house. It's nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking.
And finally, like, you're able to finally get out, probably for the first time in a couple of days. What's that?
All right, guys, we're 10 minutes out from the press conference, so make sure y'all take a second, like the video, sub up the channel if you haven't. Help us hit 74,000 subscribers. And I'm hoping that we hear some things that explain why this tragic event took place.
It's the first thing I did when I realized he was captured.
And
it's a relief.
Not even just that, and Ms. Tabor, you also see that there's other people probably feel the same as well. You know, talk to me just about what that feels like to see your other neighbors and not just yourself be able to finally come out with some sense of peace and comfort and safety.
Well, I just noticed that a couple was on a walk with it appeared to be their grandchildren, and to be so comfortable now and at such ease that you can bring your grandchildren out on a walk. I commend our local law enforcement for hanging in there and getting this guy. Thank God he is off the streets.
Yes, thank God.
You told me this a few seconds ago that this is a private residence, and that this is kind of that in the area that you kind of live in where a lot of this police activity even started.
I literally live, my backyard is in his backyard. So my next door neighbor on the other side of me is the one that captured him on video yesterday morning at 4:30 a.m. at the exact time that my husband was leaving to go to work. I mean, my husband could have brushed by him within a couple of minutes. It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
And I can only imagine, again, Ms. Tabor, just knowing that you lived that close, you were in that same vicinity of where Mr. Drummond was actually walking in that surveillance video. How thankful are you that nothing happened to not only just you, but also your family as well?
I think it's a testament to the local law enforcement that he has been caught and there was no further bloodshed. It's amazing. I mean, the local law enforcement rallied around this little slice of my city, and they captured him, and everybody's safe, and it's a testament.
Obviously, there's still a lot of information we don't have yet, but what else are you going to do today? Because I'm pretty sure you probably have a lot to catch up on.
Well, I've got a lot of chores to do outside. You know, I have a great big yard, and I'm trying to get the grass watered since we're not getting any rain. And I just hadn't felt safe even being out in my yard pulling weeds and watering grass. It's a relief.
Yeah, some harrowing details there, as you can imagine. I mean, for any community, this would be absolutely nail-biting and just terrifying to think that someone could be lurking around in your backyard, her neighbor's backyard, catching the camera there. I had friends that I worked with a little bit in Jackson, Tennessee. I texted them. I was like, hope you guys are okay. But having this whole situation of this community on lockdown. I mean, we heard from one young lady earlier last week saying, we usually keep our garage open, but my dad said, make sure that garage is closed, make sure the doors are locked. And we're talking about a tight-knit, probably rural community that doesn't normally see these types of things, is used to just running around in the yard and having the dogs roam free, or the kids, like she said, having the kids play around outside, and then having to just dial back for days is alarming.
Yeah, so there's so much to unpack in that conversation with that neighbor. The very first thing she's saying is, I felt like I was a prisoner in my own home.
Right.
And most of us probably can't relate to that feeling and that sense of fear that those neighbors were dealing with during that point in time when Austin was
Tennessee did execute someone today,
and then apparently in the backyard
of her
some of those people. And so I can't imagine what they were dealing with and how they were dealing with, and that sense of not being able to live your life. And then now that sense of relief once you catch word that he has been caught and he's no longer in your neighborhood. So really, really very eye-opening to listen to that neighbor's statements as we continue to learn more.
And I want to say a notion to cameras and how we've just been seeing the importance of cameras in a lot of these situations. I mean, we take it back even just to the Tyree Nichols situation, and then we have Ring cameras all over everybody's houses now. Without this type of technology, who knows what could have happened or how long he may still be on the run. But, you know, you get the Ring camera notifications that something's moving, and it's usually the wind. But when you go and check it and it happens to be potentially the man that's wanted and has a rifle in his hand in your backyard, I just think this is something everybody's going to remember forever. I mean, you're always going to remember this case. It's truly shaping up just to give me the heebie-jeebies, as I'd like to say. But yes, it is nice to see that she's breathing a sigh of relief as the whole neighborhood is able to go back out and be at peace for now.
You mentioned the importance of cameras, and honestly, one of the first actual pieces of video we've seen of Drummond was a camera video that was released of him when he was at Cornerstone Community Church.
Right.
I know we'll have to try to pull that video up, but this video surfaced of him. He was dressed in camouflage, had a backpack on, and a gun.
Do me a favor before this press conference starts. I want you to give the video a like. There's 2,200 people in the room. And then I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from. Okay. But make sure you hit the like on the video first, and then let us know. I like to always see where you beautiful people are watching from, how much Tennessee we have in the house tonight. We are just 6 minutes away from the press conference. So definitely hit the like on the video and shout out where you're watching from. I see Costa Rica, Virginia, California, Johnson City, Tennessee, Canada, Alberta. Good to see you, beautiful people. Thank you for being here with us. Arkansas, West Virginia, Mississippi, England, Chesapeake, Virginia, Jamestown, New York, Ohio, Moore, Ohio, Mississippi, North Carolina. Awesome, guys. It's good to see all you. Indiana, Australia, East Tennessee, the UK. So people around the world. Johnson, Tennessee is here. Jackson, Tennessee, sorry. Kansas, Alabama, Ontario. You guys are great. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today.
Absolutely trying to find shelter. The man has been on the run now for days. The other picture that the authorities released after he was caught kind of can tell you the kind of condition he was in, just tired, on the run, looking out everywhere. You have to understand, this man reached desperation. It's at the point where now I'm looking for shelter. I'm looking, and who knows what could have happened if he had ended up in a confrontation. But at this time, homeowners were told to stay alert, lock their homes, garages, sheds. Everyone was checking their security cameras for any sightings, and clearly that is what's leading us to here now. I mean, this man wanted for 4 counts of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and gun charges. And just terrifying to think, just the whole whole entire thing, just seeing it now come into light with the video. He is now caught as of this morning. But authorities, I have to give them credit. They really had been following the tracks, following it as closely as they could, finding the vehicles. It's just been an enormous effort. Helicopters. Here's the charges again. 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm during the commission of a
Army
dangerous
Mom.
felony.
Vacation
It also
fun.
reported on
Good
his
glad
prior
everyone
record.
Yeah, he had a prior record as well. I think one of the other points to note is that there are 4 people in custody right now accused of helping Austin Drummond during the course of his
Australia's with us, Coast and VA.
during the course of the time while he was trying to get away. So I'm assuming we'll hopefully hear more about these 4 people and what role they may or may not have played while Austin Drummond was on the loose. Those 4 people accused and helping him right now are Tanaka Brown, Giovante Thomas, Brandon Powell, and De'Ara Sanders. Thomas, by the way, in the Madison County Jail on unrelated charges right now. He'll be transferred to the Lake County Jail.
Honduras?
Now, he and Powell will
That's
be
where
in
that
court
cruise
on
goes to,
Thursday, of
Honduras.
course. And now Sanders is also being charged with accessory after the fact. And if convicted, Sanders could serve up to 6 years in prison. Now, Brown's bond has been set at $250,000. He is still in custody.
Yeah, so the right now there are more questions than answers, right? There's relief that Austin Drummond has been found, but there are so many questions as to how it got to this point, what happened that fateful day, and what role these people may have played in helping him stay on the run for as many days as he was on the run. Those are the answers that we're hoping to get when the officials speak with us at this press conference, which is scheduled to start here in roughly 2 minutes or so.
Yes, we'll have that shortly. And also the motive, like what, I don't know if it's far enough into the investigation to know exactly what led him to do this to the 4 victims and why he spared the baby. But again, there's just a lot of questions, as you said. And when we talk about accessory after the fact or accomplices, you know, that could range anything from giving him a ride, lending him a car, you know, just a number of things that giving him a place to crash or knowing somebody that could have helped him, phone calls. Yeah. We have no idea. But hopefully those things will come out and in the next 2 minutes, because there's a lot of attention on this. I mean, he's been on the run for 6 days. Yeah. Lots of media attention, lots of national outlets in town tonight waiting for this very moment of this press conference to see what they can share with us. But 6 days is significant, and several county-wide alert and people fearing in their homes, not being able to sleep at night, and just knowing he was lurking in the shadows.
You've been looking at the latest released photos of Austin Drummond on today as he was captured. That's one of the pictures that was released from officials, and then there's this version right here, just to show you. You can kind of see he has been caught. That's that look of being
done. Game over.
Officials want to make sure everybody knew this is what it looked like when we caught him. This is where he was at. We haven't gotten the details yet. You know, we've been told that kind of where the scene may or may not have been, some speculation on what may or may not have happened that led up to him being seen and spotted, and then eventually authorities finding him. But we don't have any of the details yet.
Right. Like up to the moment of, did he surrender? Did he put the guns down? Did, you know, was it a fight? Was it anything? So definitely hoping that at least that will come out when they do take the podium. As you can see here, this has been a joint effort. And when I say joint, I mean multiple. I mean, FBI, TBI, U.S. Marshals, Jackson Police. I mean, any Dyer County, you got Lake County authorities, all over the place on this, helicopters, probably dogs, everything, all that they could to pull out all the stops to try to find him. And if for anybody in that neighborhood, I just go back to that because you don't normally see this, you know, nobody normally in any really neighborhood, but to see just the effort and the manhunt and knowing that he was in the area the whole time just lends itself for nightmares probably to come.
Yeah, so a lot of us use social media on the daily, right? And on social media yesterday were so many videos of people in Jackson showing the helicopters in the sky, the police presence in their normally quiet neighborhoods, you know, just talking about how it's not that day was just not like any other day.
Right.
And I have not had the chance to be on social media today because I've been on the air most of the day, but I can only assume today is much of the same. So social media also playing a presence in some of this where people are able to give you real-time feels, an idea of what they're going through during something like this.
I am very curious to know, I said the motive before, you know, everything's accused now, so I'm not, you know, it's alleged, but just to drop off the baby, then, you know, what we found out were the bodies of the victims, and then to have people who are now accused of being accomplice to it, it feels like this was planned in some way. So I'm very much keen to know if investigators have been able to piece the puzzle a little bit more on that. Just all of the steps, every moment of the way, every step of the way that Drummond was on the run, and who he contacted, and if he had been planning this beforehand, before the bodies were found, the connection to this family.
Right.
So hopefully we're going to get that in a couple minutes. Supposed to start at 2:30. So they should be up there any minute now, getting all these details together. And you know, I just think we should give breath still to the victims.
Yeah, we had this conversation earlier where during the hustle and bustle of him being caught and us trying to get information out, it looks like people are starting to get to the podium now. So if they do, we will go directly to that press conference. We don't want to lose sight of the fact that people lost their lives.
Absolutely.
All right, it's about to
during all
start.
of these events, and we want to make sure we give them that time. Let's go ahead and turn right now to this press conference to get all the latest information.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Who's ready? Like this video if you're ready. Good job. Good job, police. Crazy to say that about Tennessee. You got news 23 and 24.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Kim Wheeler, Public Information Officer for the West Region of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We couldn't be more relieved today to share with you an update that Austin Drummond is in custody. That is a significant win for all the dedicated agencies that worked tirelessly over the past week to bring him to justice. We want to thank the community for the incredible help. This successful apprehension was made possible by the countless tips and unwavering support that we received from you, the citizens. Without your partnership and willingness to come forward with information, this arrest would not have been made possible. Thank you for being the eyes and ears. After everyone speaks, we will open it up for questions, but please note this is an ongoing investigation and you're going to have questions that absolutely cannot be answered at this time. With me here today to provide more information on the capture of Austin Drummond is TBI Director David Roush, Jackson Police Chief Tom Corley, U.S. Marshal Western District of Tennessee Tyrese Miller, 29th Judicial District Attorney General Danny Goodman, 26th Judicial District Attorney General Jody Pickens, Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery, Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Box, and Madison County Sheriff Julian Weiser.
29.
Director Roush.
Jay. He's 29 years old.
Thank you, Kim. And thanks to each and every one of you that are here today. Let me start by making it very clear. This is a phase of the effort. The capture is a phase. We will move into the next phase. We've already started that at this time. So, but this is not done by any means. This is just, we are now able to move into the next phase. So I do want to say thank you. This is a perfect example of police community cooperation. And there is no better example for this country, frankly, of the effort that's gone into this week-long challenge, trying to find the suspect after the horrible, tragic deaths of the family that was taken from the Lake County community. And so I do want to say thank you to the local, state, and federal agencies that all came together tirelessly, working 24 hours a day for an entire week until today, when finally we were able to get the lead we needed to find the suspect and get him into custody. It also took a very vigilant community. And so we're very appreciative of everyone here in Jackson for being vigilant, paying attention, and especially for the calls today that led us on the path, that led to
ABC 24 News starts right now with breaking news.
And a community that is looking out for the safety of everyone here. And so I wanted to make sure we express that. And again, I can't tell you how proud we are of the amazing team of police that have worked on this from our various levels within government. And it shows what can happen when we put everything aside with a focus on mission. And so I want to reiterate how important that has been and how proud we are of all that were engaged in this to be able to come to today's phase in our effort. And so with that, I will turn it over for the specifics of the capture over to Chief Tom Corley with Jackson PD.
Good afternoon. Before anything else, I'd like to begin by expressing our heartfelt condolences to the families of the lost loved ones from this vicious crime of Lake County. We're praying for you. No words can fully capture the depth of your pain, but please know that you're not alone and the Jackson community mourns with you. Again, we're here today to confirm that Austin Drummond has been taken into custody. More importantly, his capture occurred without any further harm to the public or to any law enforcement officers. The outcome, as the director referred to, is the direct result of incredible coordination, skill, and determination shown by our local, state, and federal partners. It's a powerful example of what can happen when law enforcement agencies work together with the community who have a shared mission and a singular focus. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank the agencies who played a role in this effort. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and the United States Marshal Service, from our state partners, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Tennessee Highway Patrol, and the Tennessee Department of Homeland Security, and local law enforcement, the Jackson Police Department Special Operations Division, our Patrol Division, our Criminal Investigation Unit, and our JPD dispatchers and communications, and also the Madison County Sheriff's Department. Each of these agencies brought their resources, their people, and their expertise to the table, and they did so with excellence. I'd like to pause right now, though, and I'm a little biased, but I'm going to talk about the Jackson Police Department for just a minute. From the moment this case unfolded, you never hesitated. Our dispatchers, patrol officers, special operations, investigators, each of you demonstrated bravery, precision, and tireless dedication, even in the face of danger. Your courage has not gone unnoticed, and the citizens of this community are proud of you.
Thank you for
and
being
I'm
here.
deeply thankful for you. To briefly cover the apprehension this morning, I want to first address the process that led up to it. As you're aware, for the past several days, law enforcement have been focusing on specific areas of the city based upon some intelligence, some physical evidence, and technology. From discovering the vehicle near MCO Road and the intelligence which led us to the area off of Pleasant Plains Drive, these type fugitive search operations are most typically made in a methodical fashion. When covering areas, particularly wooded areas, a cursory search is not sufficient for community safety. And I know that's difficult to have patience for. And I know several of you probably didn't get a lot of sleep because the helicopters flying around and the officers being in your neighborhood. And I know that's tough, but for the last few days, that's what's been transpiring. This morning, however, a couple of encounters with Drummond changed that methodical search to a dynamic one. Just after 8:00 a.m., we received multiple calls of sightings of the suspect. Placing resources there immediately resulted in an additional citizen's call at about 8:57 a.m. We took advantage of that quickly evolving situation and made the arrest at 9:05 a.m. I'd like to introduce you right now to Officer Trout, Officer Compton, and Officer Drown. They were there right at the right spot and reacted immediately and are responsible for the apprehension of Austin Drummond. As this case moves forward, any additional charges or prosecutorial decisions from any actions that may have occurred within Jackson will be deferred to District Attorney Jody Pickens. We will continue to support his office and the TBI as this process unfolds and ensure that every step toward justice is taken thoroughly and properly. Today, again, we find some peace in knowing that the suspect is no longer a threat, but remain committed to the families, the community, and to justice. Thank you.
They're trying not to give them that money.
Good afternoon. Tonight, families in West Tennessee can sleep more soundly. Austin Drummond is once again behind bars. He is suspected of an unthinkable crime that put all of us, an entire city and area, on edge. He thought he could outrun us, but he was wrong. That's because together we cannot be stopped. Law enforcement from every level and the people who call West Tennessee home did our parts. We worked long hours, neighbors stayed vigilant, agencies donated reward money, and someone saw something. They saw something out of the ordinary this morning and did what he was supposed to do. Because of that action, Drummond is in custody.
Okay, they may give it to him.
Thank you to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for leading this investigation, to the FBI for their unwavering support, and to the men and women of the Jackson Police Department and the local agencies such as the Madison County Sheriff's Office, Dyer County Sheriff's Office, Lake County Sheriff's Office, and other agencies who show up every day to answer the call to duty.
Yes, they got him.
And to the men and women of the United States Marshal Service, thank you. Your relentless commitment to duty is unmatched. To the families in Lake County who lost loved ones, Drummond's arrest cannot restore what has been taken from you. We only hope that we could have help give you assurance that justice will be had. And to the baby girl who will tell one day her story of survival, we look forward to all that you will do. God bless West Tennessee, and God bless America. Thank you.
That was good. What he said was
Good afternoon,
good.
everyone. First thing I'd like to do is once again give our condolences to the family of the victims in this case.
Yes, he
we have
was.
numerous victims, so obviously we have a lot of people in the communities that are hurting because of this, and we want them to know that we're going to do everything we can to seek justice in this matter. You know, this started almost 7 days ago to the exact minute. It was last Tuesday, a little after 3 p.m. when we got the first call of the infant who had been abandoned. And that started this whole process. I don't think I have ever seen so many agencies work together and work in sync. This has been so impressive. It has been what I would think should be a blueprint for the entire country on how to run an operation. You had numerous law enforcement agencies, not just one or two. We're talking about that goes across all of West Tennessee, federal agencies, and they all put their pride aside and had one common goal, and they all did whatever they had to reach that goal. And because of that, today's a good day, and Austin Drummond is not going to be a threat to this community anymore.
The caller
As
did
Director
it.
Rouse said, this was phase one. The real work starts, and the lengthy work will start at this point. Investigations do not end when a person is arrested. That's just the part to get them into custody. This investigation is going to go on for a good period of time. In addition to that, there will be lots of court appearances, lots of hearings, and we will do everything we can to ensure that the communities are kept safe, and we're going to do that by seeking justice in this case. I'm going to work with General Jody Pickens, because we do have a case this time that's a little bit different, because we're going across a couple of different judicial districts. And because of that, he and I will be working closely together, but we will work together just as law enforcement did with one common goal, and that's going to be to make sure that we seek justice. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to General Jody Pickens.
Good afternoon. My name is Jody Pickens, and I'm the elected district attorney for the 26th Judicial District, which is comprised of Chester, Henderson, and Madison counties. Like the others who have gone before me, I would like to begin by saying that my condolences go out to the families of these victims who lost their lives. And so we will continue to work to achieve justice for them. The other thing I would say that I want to say that we are very happy that we can, at this point, bring a degree of peace back to this community, which has been on edge since this incident and since they have learned that this person was back in our community. I too am a Madison County resident, and I just wanted to say that when it comes to law enforcement, we are blessed in this area. We don't have good law enforcement. We have great law enforcement. And as what has been said before, people put their differences aside and work toward a common goal. And that is why we are all standing here in front of you today, because working together, they were able to bring some security to this region. Like General Goodman said, arrest often is just the beginning of a prosecution. There will be, the investigation will continue. I will continue to consult with our law enforcement partners, also consulting with General Goodman, because there will be some decisions made. We will be working towards making sure that anybody that may have had a hand in assisting Drummond will be held to answer for that. Those investigations will continue, and we just encourage the public, which has been so important and so engaged in this situation, to continue to provide that information that you may think doesn't matter, but which may in the end provide the break that law enforcement needs. So with that, I would say, God bless our state, God bless this community, and God bless America.
God bless that caller.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Avery. I'm the sheriff of Lake County. For those of you that don't know, Lake County is a county of about 7,000 people. It's kind of one of those counties where if one person hurt, we all hurt. This happened right in our back door, and it put a lot of people on ease. And we all band together. Once this happened, when we all band together. We all want to see this thing through. We all want to see it to the end. But today I want to say, share with our community, the Lake County community, the Madison County community, that Austin Drummond is in custody. This arrest is a significant step toward the ongoing investigation, and we are grateful of the outcome. I want to thank the local, state, and federal agencies that made this happen. Without them, Drummonds would still be free today. The community stepped up.
He needs to
with
clear
the phone
his throat.
calls, text messages, the emails. If it wasn't for them, we would still be searching. We would still be looking. To the families of the victims, please know that our thoughts and prayers remain with you. While this arrest brings some measure of relief, we realize that the road to healing is going to be a long one. We as a community continue to pray for the families affected, for those still processing the trauma of these events. Justice will continue to be pursued, and we will remain committed to doing everything we can to support those impacted. Thank you.
I'm Jeff Box, Dare County Sheriff. This incident, the baby was dropped off in my county. The victims were residents of Dare County. And I want to start today by recognizing those victims. I left the funeral home just before I got here today of one of the victims. And I spoke with both his mom and dad, and they wanted me to sincerely thank with great, great gratitude each responding agency, and each one of you up here, and each officer that responded to this tragic incident that put an evil sense in the air throughout Lake County, Dare County, Madison County, and all across the state of Tennessee. So I want to begin thanking you from the family by calling those names that were tragically taken. Courtney Rose, Adrianna Williams, Braydon Williams, James Matthew Wilson. Their names deserve to be spoken. Their lives deserve to be remembered, and their families deserve justice. Our hearts go out to each of these families. We cannot begin to imagine the depth of your pain, the weight of your grief, or the heartbreak of what you are now facing. Please know that this community stands with you. We're lifting you up, and we will walk with you in the days and weeks to come. Thanks to the incredible collaboration that you see here on the stage and the determination of all law enforcement officers and partners, Austin Drummond has now been apprehended and charged with these victims' murders. We are thankful for a safe resolution to this manhunt, but we also recognize that these families, that the difficult journey is just beginning for them. I want to take a moment to thank those who helped make this possible. Sheriff Brian Avery from Lake County, Sheriff Troy Klaas of Crockett County, and Sheriff Julian Weiser. The Jackson Police Department, whose partnership and response was unwavering. Our state partners, the TBI, Bureau of Investigation, who kept us informed every step of the way, and the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Our federal partners, the FBI and the U.S. Marshals. Every deputy, every officer, every dispatcher, and investigator who contributed to this effort, we thank you. as well as the public information officers, Kim Wheeler of the TBI, and Stephen Sutton, who led an important work of keeping the community and the public informed while we had boots on the ground working this case, and assisting in working this case. Thank you to the community. We can't say enough about how your support and cooperation has been the best, not only to keep yourself safe, but to help in his capture today. Let me be clear that the manhunt is over. The justice process is just beginning, just like General Goodman stated. We remain fully committed to continuing this investigation, including the vehicle that was found in Dyer County, the infant that was abandoned in Dyer County, every tip, every detail that we receive, every lead that will be followed through completely and thoroughly. Everyone has been very concerned about the well-being of the baby, and we're glad to report the baby is healthy and doing well. As we leave here today, let us join with the victim's friends and other family members as they lift up the victim's family in prayer for strength and support that they're going to need in the days ahead. So thank you.
Sheriff Julian Weiser, Madison County. I just want to say thank you to the community for the support, the prayers, being vigilant. I got to witness some hard work this week. It was 5-6 days of high intensity. Local, state, federal law enforcement officers across this county. You know, every door that we opened, every structure we checked, we didn't know if Drummond's was going to be behind there. And to have that amount of intensity over 5 or 6 days, and our law enforcement personnel working 18 to 20 hours a day, they made an ultimate sacrifice to keep our community safe. And I want to personally thank them. I want to thank their families for standing by them. There's a lot of people behind the scenes as far as with TBI, intel analysts, support staff, the district attorney's office. You know, the troops in the field relied highly on our administrative staff. So they did a great job with providing us with intel. And I know the community will get some rest tonight. And it was amazing to see the hard work and commitment and sacrifice that our law enforcement personnel has made for our community. Thank you.
All right, that'll conclude the remarks. Are there any questions that we might be able to handle? Yes, sir, please.
Hi, Brendan Tierney with WSMV 4 News in Nashville. What's the working motive at this point? Any idea, anything you can tell us on why he did this?
Yeah, and at this point on a working motive, we are unable to speak about that. Still all part of the investigative process at this time. Yes.
Imani Williams with Channel 5 out of Memphis. Drummond was out on bond for multiple charges out of Lake County and Trousdale County. One in Trousdale County being allegedly smuggling drugs inside the jail, cell phones inside the jail. Will that impact his this investigation right now with this incident?
In terms of his prior charges that he also has picked up while he was in prison, all of those certainly will be taken into consideration as we move forward in the justice process, as you've heard the generals speak to. So yes, all of his activities will be certainly considered, not only in our investigative effort in the justice process, but certainly in his housing and how he'll be managed going forward. Yes, sir.
Billy, Fox 13. You know, we saw those 3 accomplices get picked up. Are y'all looking into Caitlin's speed?
Yeah, again, I appreciate the question in terms of, you know, those who were assisting Mr. Drummond as he was on the run. And I can tell you that we will continue to address those individuals, each that have been engaged. In terms of identifying specific individuals, I won't go into that at this time. Yes, ma'am.
Priya Sridhar with NBC News. I understand there's a connection between the suspect and the victim. Can
Yeah, in terms of the relationship between the suspect and the victims, the suspect's girlfriend is the sister of a victim, is the daughter of a victim, and is the sister of, well, two victims. So yes, that's the familial connection at that point. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll let Chief Corley address that.
Sure. Yes. So the first call we got, he was out in that area. The second call that we got that led to the apprehension, he had been in that area and was in the wood line, I believe, the wood line right behind that. So, but as far as the location where he was standing or staying overnight or during the day, yes, it was an abandoned or a vacant, I should say, a vacant building. I don't believe so. I can't tell you that.
Was he armed when you found him?
No,
How long do you think he'd been in that pool house? I mean, was
I
this
couldn't tell you. Not right now. We're investigating that.
I know you all talked about community support. There was a large reward out. Will somebody get that? Will it be divided? How will it work?
Yes. So in terms of the reward, what will happen is we will vet the information that we obtained and determine who would be appropriate to receive the award. So we'll look into that very specifically to determine.
So that means no.
More than likely, from what I have heard, there may be more than one person that will receive a portion of the award. And so that's what we'll be working on as well. Let me go back here and then I'll come back. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how he survived during this period of time? Was he getting help from the persons who've been charged in this case?
Yeah, Mike, in terms of how he was able to continue to be out on the run and those who assisted him, I won't be able to go into that because that's all part of this investigative process. And we can't go into those details yet at this time.
You know, you said you can't speak to motive. Do you have any idea why all those victims ended up in that same spot in Lake County?
Again, those are specifics about the investigative process. I won't go into details at this time. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, in terms of were we surprised that he was still in Jackson? I think I don't believe we weren't surprised that he was still here in the area. We know he was obtaining support, obviously. As you know, we have arrested individuals that were providing that. And so it wasn't a surprise. Quite frankly, we thought he may try to run, and his history has shown he has left the state before. And so we were concerned about that, but we had a lot of confidence in the information we were getting, the intelligence we were getting, the technology that we were following that helped us with the assurity that we were honing in quickly on his location. Again, it was the community that really broke this for us, and I don't want to downplay that at all. All of the effort, all of the technology, all of the dog determination that we had was really came down to the community doing as was stated, seeing something and making that call, and that was critical for us to be able to be where we are today with this. I think we're going to get one more. Sorry.
You mentioned that Drummond wasn't armed. Were you able to recover the weapon you seen holding?
Yeah, I can tell you that, we did recover a couple weapons at this point. And we're still searching to see what else is out there. And so I would ask, again, a plea to the public. If you see something that you believe maybe was involved in this, don't touch it. Call right away. Let us get to it and process that scene. And there are still pieces that we're trying to place together. And so there's still evidence out there that we need to gather. But we have recovered weapons. I can't speak to if those are the weapons that were used in the homicides, but I can tell you we have recovered a couple of firearms at this time.
One more question from
I'm sorry. I cannot speak to the specifics of the weapons yet. right? Yes, sir. Final.
Where is the baby? Where is Drummond? And did Drummond say anything once he was captured?
There you go.
I can tell you in terms of Drummond, he has been transported to a facility. We won't state where he's at this point. And I can tell you that, well, I won't tell you what took place after he was taken into custody. That's all part of our investigative process. In terms of the child, I will yield.
The baby, we'd rather not say where the baby is now for its well-being, but it is safe, healthy, and being well taken care of.
All right. Again, thank you all. We very much appreciate the help, especially throughout this. The media has been absolutely critical, pushing information as quickly as we could provide it to you, keeping a focus for the public on this. And so we again, this isn't just policing. This is our community. This is our great media doing a fine job. So thank you all as well for the effort that was put into this. We appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A lot we're waiting to get confirmation on that we had put some pieces of the puzzle together, but finally hearing from authorities, the biggest one to me, Ruben, confirming that Drummond's girlfriend is the sister of 2 of the victims and the daughter of 1. Did not really give exact.
The news be so late on some of this stuff. Like we've been known that for days that, you know, the news will be a little behind on things. And we've been known she was the sister. Will he get the reward? That is the big question. And, you know, as they said, well, multiple people called. Well, only one call led to the arrest. That was, you call and said you seen him in the area. That's great. But that didn't lead to the arrest. The call came in from the immigrant man and said, hey, we're looking right at him. He's walking through the woods. He's right here. Why should his reward be split? And it sounds like they don't want to give the reward. And a lot of times in cases they don't give the rewards, they look for a reason why not to. Shit, they rather deport this guy than give him any money. I mean, that's just the world we live in. But, you know, it's great that he was captured. They won't state if it was the murder weapon or not. Okay, they're still looking for other firearms, which leads me to believe that the weapons he had on him were not the murder weapons. Okay, or they wouldn't still be looking for firearms. So there's something there's missing. The piece of the puzzle that's missing is the murder weapon. That's why he's urging citizens to, if they see anything, to let them know so they can process it, because they don't have the murder weapon. He was found with multiple weapons, but possibly not the weapon that unalived the 4 people. They wouldn't speak on why he, what he said afterwards or any type of motive. I'm sure it'll be a little while before we learn these things. By the time he's brought to trial, we will know. They won't even let out what location that he is in, because they have his ass buried under the jail. Dolly, your body is the news reporter. What? Okay. Oh, my body is the news reporter, like my head. I put my head on top of his body. It's just for the placement of the camera. We can go here if you like. Okay. Let's hear what they're talking about, and then we'll just touch bases on it.
Agencies and how the law enforcement agencies worked together as well.
Yeah, and one of the other big notes out of that press briefing was the fact that the baby is doing well.
We knew that.
Safe. The baby is doing well. They would not elaborate, and for good reason, on where the baby is. Just
we're pretty sure we know where the baby's at
and doing well, being well taken care of, which I think a lot of people were worried about as well.
Yes, and we got a lot more answers. There's still a lot more questions as well. They couldn't comment on anything really regarding the victim's status when they were found. They didn't really want to speak on exactly what Drummond said during the arrest or thereafter, where he's being, we know he's being transported. We don't know where he's being transported to. As you said, the baby's safe, but of course for the child's well-being, they don't want to say exactly where the baby is, but knowing that the baby is safe is most important. But yes, a lot of questions that we will probably see play out in the justice phase. As they said, now we have the captures phase 1, and now it's got to be taken into the criminal justice system to do its part.
There we go.
So one of the things
There we go.
During this is somebody did ask if his priors will be mentioned and considered as part of this, and the officials did say. Now I know let's go ahead and put a bow on this real quick. We're gonna end our coverage right now, and then we'll be right back.
Okay. I'm just playing. All
right, we're still on 24 plus. We just had to get out of our live TV show, but wanted to make sure that we still stay active on our streaming channel 24 plus as we continue to break down some of the information that you have maybe heard during that press conference that we just
Yes, so we just heard from a press conference.
Okay, so let's back this.
Please don't arrest me.
Have a seat. Okay, let's close this. Let's back this up.
Get him in.
All right. If anybody that missed it or just tuning in, we'll go back over it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Kim Wheeler, Public Information Officer for the West Region of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Now, there's a lot of other cases this woman needs to solve in Tennessee. We have a lot of stuff going on in Tennessee. We got the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. We got the disappearance of Summer Wells. We got the disappearance of Layla Santinella. We have the disappearance of Holly Snap. Now, listen, when somebody breaks the law or hurts somebody there, they've done pretty good about catching them. I think the police did a really good job on this. But when somebody goes missing there, you never get found.
Couldn't be more relieved today to share with you an update that Austin Drummond is in custody. That is a significant win for all the dedicated agencies that worked tirelessly over the past week to bring him to justice. We want to thank the community for the incredible help. This successful apprehension was made possible by the countless tips and unwavering support that we received from you, the citizens. Without your partnership and willingness to come forward with information, this arrest would not have been made possible. Thank you for being the eyes and ears. After everyone speaks, we will open it up for questions, but please note this is an ongoing investigation, and you're going to have questions that absolutely cannot be answered at this time. With me here today.
Yes, the capture is over, but there's still a lot to learn from this case. You know, we will have the trial, and we will be covering when these people go to court here, because we want to know what the motive was. Why did he do this? That's been the big question this whole time. And that's what everybody's interest is in anyway. It's not so much well, everybody wanted him captured, of course, but people want to know the reason why. He looked like the actor Ed Norton. Yes, he did. I said the same thing. He looked like from Fight Club, American History X. But the $1 million question is why? That's what we all want to know. I mean, we know he did it. We knew he was going to get caught. It was just a matter of time. We still have Travis Decker on the run. He is the one that unalived his children and ran into a national state park. And, well, he was an outdoorsman, former military, and he's kind of just vanished into the woods. We still got him missing. And we don't know the reason. We think that was a custody dispute why he hurt his children. But in this case, we don't know. Was it drug deal gone bad? Was it gang related? Was it jealousy and revenge for a bad relationship with the girlfriend? We don't know. And I think our curiosity lies in the reason why he did this. So this won't be over for everybody until we understand a better reason why this actually occurred.
To provide more information on the capture of Austin Drummond, is TBI Director David Roush, Jackson Police Chief Tom Corley, U.S. Marshal Western District of Tennessee Tyrese Miller, 29th Judicial District Attorney General Danny Goodman, 26th Judicial District Attorney General Jody Pickens, Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery, Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Box, and Madison County Sheriff Julian Weiser. Director Roush.
Thank you, Kim. And thanks to each and every one of you that are here today. Let me start by making it very clear. This is a phase of the effort. The capture is a phase. We will move into the next phase. We've already started that at this time. So, but this is not done by any means. This is just, we are now able to move into the next phase. So I do want to say thank you. This is a perfect example of police community cooperation. And there is no better example for this country, frankly, of the effort.
I have to say this. Anytime they got a tip from the community, they took the response very, very serious. And that's a good thing, because you see it led to the arrest of Austin Drummond. The other day when they got the tip from the Cherry Grove Apartments, they were out there in full force. You can see when they got the tip today from the worker that seen him in the wood line, they took the tip very seriously and they reacted very fast. The police and the community do have to work together like this. And I believe in this situation, they did a great job.
That's gone into this week-long challenge, trying to find the suspect after the horrible, tragic deaths of the family that was taken from the Lake County community. And so I do want to say thank you to the local, state, and federal agencies that all came together tirelessly, working 24 hours a day.
Yes.
For an entire week until today, when finally we were able to get the lead we needed to find the suspect and get him into custody. It also took a very vigilant community, and so we're very appreciative.
The person that lives in the apartment complex was his girlfriend, okay? And she was staying with her parents. She had done left. But Caitlin lived in those apartments, the Cherry Grove Apartments. And I believe he was staking it out because he wanted to hurt her next. A lot of people don't think that's the case because she was pregnant with his baby. But the family's alleging they broke up shortly before this. And he could be upset. You know, he didn't have no place to go. He had been staying in the car. It looks like he could have murdered the family in revenge and been going after her because he never left the area. So, I mean, that's just me speculating. I don't know. I don't have any proof of that. Or it's drug related and this is all gang stuff. I mean, we don't know why he stuck around.
Of everyone here in Jackson for being vigilant, paying attention, and especially for the calls today that led us on the path that led to.
Well, the day after the murders, he was seen going in and out the apartment. Okay, that's according to a witness, PJ. The day after the murders, yes, he was seen going in and out the apartment. But why was he there? Was Caitlin there? See what I'm saying? Had she already fled? We don't know yet. But the first day after the murders, yes, he was using the apartments. And he even spoke to the downstairs neighbor. Right? So, but after that, did he use the apartments? We know he was seen around the apartment. So he was sort of stalking the area around the apartment. So still debatable.
ABC 24 News starts right now with breaking news.
In a community that is looking.
His parents live. Somebody asked where his parents live. His parents live near where the car was found. His father does. The MCO road where the white Audi A3 was found. His father lived really close by. So it's believed that he stuck to areas he was familiar with, that he had friends and family in, so he could survive. But it didn't work out good for him.
Looking out for the safety of everyone here, and so I wanted to make sure we express that. And again, I can't tell you how proud we are of the amazing team of police that have worked on this from our various levels within government. And it shows what can happen when we put everything aside with a focus on mission. And so I want to reiterate how important that has been and how proud we are of all that were engaged in this to be able to come to today's phase in our effort. And so with that, I will turn it over for the specifics of the capture over to Chief Tom Corley with Jackson PD.
Good afternoon. Before anything else, I'd like to begin by expressing
This is his mugshot. Hello? Okay, I got it. All right. This right here shows where he is at, guys. I don't know how you say this, but it's either Obion County Jail, Obion County Jail, 1 Law Lane, Union City, Tennessee, 38261. So it says he's in custody. It don't give his birth date. It gives his ID number 732. Book date August 5th, 2025 at 2:21. Obion. Right? It's in Union City. Okay. Well, here's his mugshot. Let's blow it up real big. I had to save it so I could do that, so y'all could get a better look at his hideous face. This dude is a monster. There he is, back in jail, back where he belongs. Now, they need to take all his freedoms in jail. All right, make it bigger. It don't get much bigger than that. That is his jail mugshot. Oh, Lord. He looks haggard. Yes, he definitely looks bad. Current age says 28. He is 29 years old, from my understanding, or about to be 29 years old. But I thought he was 29. He's already did 10 years in prison. And now he's going to do the rest of his life in prison. So he was only a free man for 16 years of his life. Okay. Can you imagine having a whole life and only 16 of those years you will be free? It's 15 minutes from you. Okay. I wish it didn't have to cost 4 lives to get this guy back in prison. Yeah, he's 29 going on 49. He's had a rough week. Okay. We all have dealing with this. We've all had a rough week. So to see him behind bars, to me, is like, thank you, little baby Jesus, because, you know, we've been on this from the beginning, covering every little bit of it searching and digging and sleuthing. And we've spent our whole week, me and PJ, covering this story, trying to bring you guys the best information, up to date, real time information as we could. All right. The only thing I didn't bring you in real time was his arrest because I was at the vet. But far as the most part, I've been here with you guys in real time as everything has transpired, as these arrests have been happening, as the search is continuing, as they were finding out who the baby's parents were, to all the way till now, till we have the end result. And I feel blessed that it's over. Like, this was stressful on me. And, you know, I'm just glad. I'm glad he is caught. I am glad he is behind bars. And I hope that we get the answers that we're looking for. But I've learned one thing in cases like this, guys, that we may never get the answers that we're looking for. Okay, Rose, thank you for your super sticker and keeping Dolly alive. And if you haven't, guys, please do me just one solid. Just like the video. That's all I ever ask. And if you're super cool, share it on Facebook or X or Instagram or whatever social media platform you use, long as it's not farmersonly.com or Pornhub. Okay, just don't share me there and we good to go. I don't think he's going to talk. And I mean, I think he's going to lawyer up. He used to put lower up. But yes, will he lawyer up? Yes. Okay, because he's going to need a court appointed, unless his parents get him a lawyer to try to avoid him the death penalty. Now, his parents supported him the whole time he was in prison last time. Will they support him this time and, you know, aid in this and try to help him? You know, believe it or not, a lot of parents, even though you've done something so horrible, they try to help. And I don't know his family's financial status of how they are on money. But, you know, they put their house up to bond him out on the last one. I posted the gated community on us Marshall X. Dolly, did you see that CBCB news outlet asking you how Austin's dad's letter had ended up being given to news agencies? If you had any comment, as in he was accusing you of doing it. The letter, the only person I have communications with is Matthew's dad. We have been talking with Matthew's dad from the very beginning of this. So some information, yeah, we had that wasn't known. Some information we waited to tell because it was still part of an ongoing investigation. But for the most part, our conversation with Matthew's dad has been strictly, we hope you're doing well. We hope the family's okay. We're praying for you. And we, you know, if he volunteered information, of course, we would take that information. But we don't usually pressure people for information. We let them deal with, you know, it's about building a trust with people and they see that you're a good person and you're not, you know, you're not out to get them. You really want the best for them. And then once people realize that, hey, we're on the same page, they start to give you the information that you need. And his dad in the letter said, you know, turn yourself in. But I can tell you now that I didn't give the letter to the media. All right. I didn't do that. I don't have any ties to Austin Drummond's father. We don't even really know if that letter was from his father. It sounded fatherly. Okay. It sounded fatherly to me. Hey, listen, don't hurt anybody else. We're deeply saddened by what our son did, you know, and asking him to turn himself in. As a parent, you would want to visit your kid in prison instead of the graveyard. I think anybody would, right? And you got to remember, yes, he's a monster to us. He hurt innocent people. But to his mom and dad, they seen him as a little kid when he was not a monster. Or he may have been a monster. I don't know. He started effing up at 16. Is it their fault? Is it bad upbringing? I mean, it's hard to say because some people bring their kids up really good, nice Christian homes, and they go off and do some of the most horrible, terrible shit, right? Even Marilyn Manson was sent to a Christian school, and look at him, right? So it just sometimes it's not the parents' fault that the kids act that way. Now, sometimes it's all the parents' fault. It's the upbringing of how they raise their kid. Sometimes it could be both. It could be nothing to do with the parents. The parents were good parents and did the right things. Their son just turned out a demon. Or it could be the parents raised their kids shitty and not respect people and not have no love or compassion for other humans. And then they end up doing this. It's hard to determine which one that is with it being so fresh. But this man seemed like he got involved with the wrong crowd at a really young age and thought he was a gangster. And, you know, I hate to say it, but some of these rap videos that are out here, I don't want to blame music. They glorify this behavior. They do. I mean, I listen to it, but here's the thing. Even as a young kid, I used to listen to bands like Slayer, Cannibal Corpse, and a lot of people would say some of these bands, Dolly, are satanic. But I understood good music from an entertainment. Now, did I believe everything that these bands were saying? No. Like a Marilyn Manson or something. No. I looked at it as just entertainment, just music, right? But some people believe that when they hear this is the life they want to lead. They want these flashy things. They want this high dollar stuff. They want the Gucci shades, but they don't want to work for it. They want to take the easy route, right? They want to take the easy route, quick money. They don't want to work hard, right? Everybody that makes that quick money, they end up in two places: prison or the graveyard. Okay. People that work hard, they eventually get what they need. You might not get what you want, but you'll get what you need. And they grind and they grind and they work their asses off for it. So when I see people with really nice things, I never get jealous. I look at these people like, you worked your ass off for that. You worked a lot harder than I did, or I would have that. Usually you ever notice when you see a brand new Corvette riding down the street, it's either a rapper, a drug dealer, or a 70-year-old man that done worked his ass off his whole life to be able to have that car, right? So when I see these old dudes driving this car and people like midlife crisis, no, it just took that long of a life to earn that money to be able to have these nice things. Some people work their asses off and they deserve that and some, right? It's these young dudes when you see with the flashy cars, you're like, okay, you don't look like you got a job. You couldn't take a hammer and nail a nail to save your life, right? And this is this guy. He driving an Audi A3, stolen tags. So I don't know why he had bad tags on it. But you know, living in penthouses, he's showing the penthouses of his vacation. And I'm thinking, yo, I stay in crack hotels, right? I've worked my ass off my whole life. And I'm not seeing, well, this last hotel, I stayed in a Hilton. I kind of bougied it up a little bit. That's the first Hilton I've ever stayed in my life. And it was nice. They had good coffee and good breakfast. All right. Shout out to Paris. I didn't know how the other half was living, but thank you for people that donate to the channel and help the channel grow. I was able to stay at my very first Hilton, and it wasn't like a really good one, but it did have the Hilton name on it, right? At least, right? It smelled kind of like dead bodies, but it was a Hilton, right? So from crack hotels to a decent hotel, don't think I don't appreciate it. So, and with that, the money, you got to know that these things, you stand up in the penthouse somewhere, it's costing you some money, right? And where is this dude that he looks like a wet noodle, ain't never worked a day in his life? Where is he getting that money from? Okay. He ain't grinding, right? Even though I don't work a day job, I still grind really hard with this YouTube stuff. If it's editing, making thumbnails, videos, I think in the store that we run, thank you, Paris Hilton, right. I grind every day to bring entertainment to YouTube. And I honestly think I don't work as physically hard, but I work more hours. Okay. I work more hours here on YouTube as far as editing, thumbnail making, preparing video and streaming than I did as a job. Okay. Just not as physical on my back, not as physical on my body because my body's old and breaking down. And I needed something else. And thank God I had the gift of gab, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of transitioned over into this. And because I would be broke in pieces by now, right? I was working construction. I worked construction from the time I was 18 years old, and I'm 50. Okay. That's 30 straight years, 32 years. Well, no, I've been on YouTube a year and a half where I haven't worked a job. So that's 30 years straight of physical labor. All right. And I didn't have it good. I mean, I wasn't the lowest man on the totem pole, but I wasn't the highest man on the totem pole either. So I still had to crawl under houses. I still had to crawl into attics. You know, I'm hooking up heat units, air conditioning units, going under the house, running junction boxes, all kinds of shit, right? So I didn't have the greatest job. I mean, it's hot. There's no air conditioning. You out there, it's 115 degrees. You cooking, right? You're jamming out the Mexican music because they're doing the roofs and they get there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So they already got the radio playing. So it ain't like you're even listening to American music. You're listening to Living La Vida Loca for fucking 10 hours a day, right? Can't never beat the Mexicans there. They're there before the sun comes up and they done built 7 houses. You know what I'm saying? Them people are fast, right? So every time at work, you had to listen to damn Living La Vida Loca. And yeah, it just, that job sucked. I feel great. This last year and a half has been a complete blessing. Dolly won't lie to you. I'll tell you the truth, right? I'll tell you how the shit was, right? So, yeah, it got bad. It just, all right. Guys, my daughter's calling. We're going to jump back over to this.
Expressing our heartfelt condolences to the families of the lost loved ones from this vicious crime of Lake County. We're praying for you. No words can fully capture the depth of your pain, but please know that you're not alone and the Jackson community mourns with you. Again, we're here today to confirm that Austin Drummond has been taken into custody. More importantly, his capture occurred without any further harm to the public or to any law enforcement officers. The outcome, as the director referred to, is the direct result of incredible coordination, skill, and determination shown by our local, state, and federal partners. It's a powerful example of what can happen when law enforcement agencies work together with the community who have a shared mission and a singular focus. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank the agencies who played a role in this effort. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and the United States Marshal Service, from our state partners, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Tennessee Highway Patrol, and the Tennessee Department of Homeland Security, and local law enforcement, the Jackson Police Department Special Operations Division, our Patrol Division, our Criminal Investigation Unit, and our JPD dispatchers and communications, and also the Madison County Sheriff's Department. Each of these agencies brought their resources, their people, and their expertise to the table, and they did so with excellence. I'd like to pause right now, though, and I'm a little biased, but I'm going to talk about the Jackson Police Department for just a minute. From the moment this case unfolded, you never hesitated. Our dispatchers, patrol officers, special operations, investigators, each of you demonstrated bravery, precision, and tireless dedication, even in the face of danger. Your courage has not gone unnoticed, and the citizens of this community are proud of you, and I'm deeply thankful for you. To briefly cover the apprehension this morning, I want to first address the process that led up to it. As you're aware, for the past several days, law enforcement have been focusing on specific areas of the city based upon some intelligence, some physical evidence, and technology. From discovering the vehicle near MCO Road and the intelligence which led us to the area off of Pleasant Plains Drive, these type fugitive search operations are most typically made in a methodical fashion. When covering areas, particularly wooded areas, a cursory search is not sufficient for community safety. And I know that's difficult to have patience for. And I know several of you probably didn't get a lot of sleep because the helicopters flying around.
I couldn't sleep.
And the officers being in your neighborhood. And I know that's tough, but for the last few days, that's what's been transpiring. This morning, however, a couple of encounters with Drummond changed that methodical search to a dynamic one. Just after 8:00 a.m., we received multiple calls of sightings of the suspect. Placing resources there immediately resulted in an additional citizen's call at about 8:57 a.m. We took advantage of that quickly evolving situation and made the arrest at 9:05 a.m. I'd like to introduce you right now to Officer Trout, Officer Compton, and Officer Drown. They were there right at the right spot and reacted immediately and are responsible for the apprehension of Austin Drummond.
Yeah, but they were told. I seen the picture. That's the woman that was holding his arm, and that's the man that was standing beside her right there on the right of her. I'm just glad that they're okay, and this man didn't fight back because he had, a weapon that would go through a bulletproof vest, right? And if you get arrested, wouldn't you want it to be a little ginger? I'm just kidding. So, but thank God that they're safe. All jokes aside, I wouldn't want nothing to happen to Officer Compton and is that Drown? Officer Compton and Officer Drown. So I wouldn't want nothing to happen to them. So I'm glad they're okay. I'm glad they're safe. But they were put in the right place at the right time by a citizen, and a lot of people give immigrants hard times, but there's people that come to this country that are really good people. We can't think of every immigrant as a bad person. The person today was a really good person and seen something and said something and did a great job in helping the community. So, we know there's some bad people that come into our country, and we can't judge by that because sometimes there's some really good people that come into our country too. And today we experience one of those really good people.
As this case moves forward, any additional charges or prosecutorial decisions from any actions that may have occurred within Jackson will be deferred to District Attorney Jody Pickens. We will continue to support his office and the TBI as this process unfolds and ensure that every step toward justice is taken thoroughly and properly. Today, again, we find some peace in knowing that the suspect is no longer a threat, but remain committed to the families, the community, and to justice. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Ginger, you won.
Tonight, families in West Tennessee.
I always give Gingers hard time here, but it's just me joking and playing. So if you're out there and you're watching, you're a Ginger, just know when I do say my little Ginger jokes, I'm just playing, okay, people? I like to mix a little crime and comedy together sometimes. So sometimes you may hear me say Gingers don't have no soul, but I'm just playing. Just know that, all right? Nothing personal against any redhead babies out there. Y'all are cute when you're babies. Just when you get older, you look a little funny.
He can sleep more soundly. Austin Drummond is once again behind bars. He is suspected of an unthinkable crime that put all of us, an entire city and area, on edge. He thought he could outrun us, but he was wrong. That's because together we cannot be stopped. Law enforcement from every level and the people who call West Tennessee home did our parts. We worked long hours. Neighbors stayed vigilant. Agencies donated reward money, and someone saw something. They saw something out of the ordinary this morning and did what he was supposed to do. Because of that action, Drummond is in custody.
Amen.
Thank you to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for leading this investigation, to the FBI for their unwavering support, And to the men and women of the Jackson Police Department and the local agencies such as the Madison County Sheriff's Office, Dyer County Sheriff's Office, Lake County Sheriff's Office, and other agencies who show up every day to answer the call to duty. And to the men and women of the United States Marshal Service, thank you. Your relentless commitment to duty is unmatched. To the families in Lake County who lost loved ones, Drummond's arrest cannot restore what has been taken from you. We only hope that we can have help give you assurance that justice will be had. And to the baby girl who will tell one day her story of survival, we look forward to all that you will do. God bless West Tennessee and God bless America. Thank you.
Now, this guy was the only guy, I think he did the best talking right here. He seemed genuine. He even spoke about, hey, the only reason this guy's in custody is because of the guy seen the thing today, called in. He was the only dude that was 100 with you. Okay. He got up there. He spoke 100, right? He seemed genuine. He seemed honest. He seemed believable. He seemed compassionate about what was going on. Now, the rest of these fools up on that stage, I don't know. They were a little shifty on what they said. They sounded like they didn't want to pay nobody, right? This dude was like, he was more like, yo, let this dude get the money, right? And they're going to be like, as soon as they got backstage, they're like, hey, excuse me, can we come over? Can we talk to you for a minute? You ain't supposed to tell the damn truth, okay? Don't get out on that stage and ever tell the damn truth again. When we say something, that's the way it is, right? So he probably caught some hell when he got backstage for being genuine and honest. We don't do that shit. That's probably what they told me, like, look, man, we've been running this state for 37 years. My granddad used to run this state. My great granddad used to run this state. You ain't gonna bring your ass out here and be just being honest and truthful with the people. We ain't gonna have that shit. You want to keep your job, you better get with the program. That's what I felt like when he was done talking. I swear. They're looking at him like, yeah, that motherfucker there.
Good afternoon, everyone. First thing I'd like to do is once again give our condolences to the family of the victims in this case. We have numerous victims, so obviously we have a lot of people in the communities that are hurting because of this, and we want them to know that we're going to do everything we can to seek justice in this matter. You know, this started almost 7 days ago to the exact minute. It was last Tuesday, a little after 3 p.m. when we got the first call of the infant who had been abandoned. And that started this whole process. I don't think I have ever seen so many agencies work together and work in sync. This has been so impressive. It has been what I would think should be a blueprint for the entire country on how to run an operation. You had numerous law enforcement agencies, not just one or two. We're talking about that goes across all of West Tennessee, federal agencies, and they all put their pride aside and had one common goal, and they all did whatever they had to reach that goal. And because of that, today's a good day, and Austin Drummond is not going to be a threat to this community anymore.
Thank God. Amen to that.
As Director Ralph said, this was phase one.
Oh, what I
Real
was
work
saying is,
started.
after what we've seen online, they should take all his privileges away. Okay, everything. Like, you know, he's in there with flat screen TVs, cell phones, video games, bottles of Ciroc liquor, street clothes. They need to put him somewhere that's really maximum security, where you have nothing. You got 4 brick walls in the Bible, okay? Because he needs some Jesus in his life for sure. All right, so when we look in his cell next time, we want to see nothing but 1 roll of toilet paper and a Bible. That's it. That's all you get. Okay. And I'm being generous with giving him the Bible. He shouldn't have none of that shit. All canteens should be stripped from him. He been smuggling into the jail. He should get his cell shook down every day. We got to stop treating these monsters like they're people, because once you become a monster, you lose all people privilege to me. At that point, I don't think we got to treat you like people. You're a monster. You should be treated like a monster. Not like the dude that may have stole something from Walmart. Okay. You are a killer. You are armed robber. You like now you're a murderer. So I say Guantanamo Bay. When they said they didn't, they weren't going to release where he was at, I was thinking, take him somewhere you can torture him. And the only place they do that is outside the country. Okay. We need to take you to like Panama or something and strap you to 2 batteries and some jumper cables. Like, we shouldn't be treating these people too good when they've given their rights away. What about the rights of the people he murdered? That's what I look at. What about the innocent family that's destroyed because of this dude came into their life? They won't never have any of these privileges or pleasures. I say you put him in maximum security, 23-1 lockdown. He has no canteen, no privileges. You get 1 phone call a week. You can come out and take a shower. That's it. Let him know what prison's like. Like, you look at the people that served time in like the 70s and 80s, maybe even early 90s. They're looking at people in prison like in 2025, like, damn, they got it so good. They got it so good. When we were in prison, we didn't have that. We didn't, that shouldn't be what you hear, that people in prison got it better. They should have it worse. Like, people from the 70s should be going like, man, I'm glad I ain't in there now. That shit's bad, right? They shouldn't be going, damn, we didn't have flat screens, cable, Jelly Roll performing concerts. You can go see, you can get Lady Gaga tickets in fucking prison. That is crazy. That is crazy, right? Does anybody else find that crazy? Listen, I understand Jelly Roll went to prison and he wants to give back to the prison. I get it. But hell no. Hell no. Hell no, dude. When you in prison, you're being punished. You're not being rewarded for your bad behavior. We live in a society now where people, you sling a brick through a window, they just say, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's Antifa. No, that's a criminal. Okay, that's a criminal. That ain't, you don't name something to make it sound less than what it is. It is what it is. It's criminal behavior. These are bad people. We shouldn't pay you to go bust a window, right? But we live in a society where you can get paid to protest. You can get paid to tear shit up. You go to prison, you get cable TV, flat screens, video games. Preach, Dolly, preach. I don't know who's running the system, but I can tell you it ain't me. You know what you would get? 3 hots and a cot. That's it. And when I mean a cot, I mean a cot. You wouldn't get shit if I'm running to prison. You know what you would want? You would want to escape. You wouldn't want to be there. I can tell you that. You need a warden, call Dolly. I'll show you how to run a prison. All right. You'll see we'll walk through there and everybody will look like, you know how you see them dogs in the commercial for like, in the eyes of an angel, and the dogs are like shaking and all fucking hungry and all got damn mange. That's what my prison would look like when you walk through it. You would just see sad ass people, right? On the chain gang. That's what I imagine when I see prisons, but that ain't the actual what prisons are like. Okay, that just ain't what it is, but that's what it should be. I want to see Sarah McLachlan singing in the damn prison cell next to him. That's where I'm at. I don't know what all these other people think. You know, you get 1 plastic sport and that better last you for fucking your whole sentence. That's it. 1 roll of toilet paper, we use 1 a month. You get 1 sheet to wipe your ass with. Clean sheets, you better wash them in the toilet. Okay. Fruit, you ain't getting no fruit to make wine. Hell no. Fruit's expensive. You get a cheeseburger from Mickey D's, something that's going to slowly kill your ass. All right. That's what you get. We need to start feeding inmates Mickey D's. All right. The prisons wouldn't be so full. By 30, somebody's going to have a fucking heart attack. Okay. All that salt and cholesterol, you bound to die. Right. Then we ain't got to house you for 100 years. Right. Be like, damn, they eating good. They get Mickey D's. Just like give them 3 months. They'll be overweight and dead. Okay. Just facts. Y'all want the system fixed? Vote for me for president. Okay. Vote for Dolly for president. I will fix it overnight. Okay. Nobody will want to go to prison. We'll start cutting hands off. Dolly law will go into effect immediately. You don't know where your kids are? Well, you sit in prison until we find them. Simple, right? I think the system is easy to fix. It's like the warden down there in, what is it, Arizona or something, where he makes all the inmates wear pink, and if they want to watch TV, they got to pedal an exercise bike to watch TV. The exercise bike powers the TV. And he says, you know, it's the state that he has certain requirements that he has to fill, but they don't tell him how he has to fill it. So if you want to watch TV, you exercise. And I think that's how jails and prisons should be. You want certain things, you got to do certain things to get it. But we don't treat monsters like human beings, because there's two different things. There's human beings, there's people that can be rehabilitated, and there's people that can't. Now, you should slowly, you know, work your level down to where you're about to reach the street and you got some more of these things. So when you get out, you're not in shock. But, you know, far as giving maximum security prison inmates video games and DVD players and damn smart TVs with Netflix and Hulu, oh, hell no. Thank you for becoming a member. That is Maxie. That is awesome of you. That's a great way to help support the channel. I'm voting Dolly for president, and PJ can be the first lady. There you go. They have gangs in all prisons. Yeah, but some prisons are ran by the gangs and not the guards, you know, and some gangs ain't, you know, there's always some gang that runs that. Yes. It's the bad ones. Like, all gangs ain't as bad as all gangs either, you know. What about a gang of Christian people? They have the Christian block in all prisons, you know. Dolly for president, hell yeah. So, you know, you better get in with Bible studies. I don't know, let that gang run it, the Christian people. I think the prison would be better off. You had to go to church 2 days a week, rehab. You know, what I can say for prison systems is, instead of having these college classes for people and, you know, fixing all their damn teeth. You ever notice when people get out of prison, their teeth are white, as straight as a can be, because they get free medical and free dental while they're in prison? I say you focus more on rehabilitation, like rehab, like for drugs, because most people end up in prison, your average person, for drug addiction, stealing, robbing to get those drugs. So I think you really got to combat drugs in prison, rehabbing people. If you go to prison and everybody in there is a drug addict, how is that going to help you rehab your drug problem? It's not. Okay, so you really got to focus on drugs and alcohol that got people locked up in the first place, is what I think, in mental health, because there's a lot of people that are crazy that end up in prison, and there's a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics that end up in prison. I think they need to focus more on combating those things, so where, yes, you have to go to rehab. It's mandatory. While you're in this prison, your ass is going to stay sober. You're going to stay clean. You're not going to do no drugs, because if you don't do them in here, you might not do them on the street, right? Church, because you're going to need some morals and values. And not even if you believe in God, just is the Bible is a book of morals and values. And those things are real important in this world, to have morals and values. And a lot of these people don't. They have no respect for human life. And it's hard to say that you think you're born with that, but some people need to be taught that life is important. Everybody's life, not just yours. So, I mean, there's so many things I could think of to reform the prison system and make it where people don't want to come back. Right? Do you think this dude cared about going? He looked like he was ready to go to prison today, didn't he? Anybody look at his face? Did he look like if you think he was ready to be locked up, press 1. I think he was ready to be locked up. He had the look on his face like, thank God, right? He had a thank God look on his face that they got me. Thank God this is over, is what he looked like. Because he's ready to go back to prison. You know why? Because he don't think prison is that bad. He don't. That shit should be so horrible that you never want to go back to it. Never. Okay? These prisons are so bad in some of these other countries that when people get out, they flee the country. They don't even want to go back to the country, most likely to prison. So we need to make our prison system, now it's become a business. Okay, so they can buy most of these things in prison. These TVs, cable, there's packages, probably like a couple $100. You can get cable TV in your cell. There's different things you can buy. That's because like Bob Barker and damn Michael Jordan and all these people have invested in the prison system. So the more things they can sell you in the prison, the more money the prisons make. This is a business where they're building prisons. America has the most people in prison than any country in the world. You would think it'd be a communist country like China or North Korea. America houses more people in prison than any other country in the world. That's insane. Okay. I'm one of these people that don't think low-level offenders should be in prison. I don't think you put semi-bad people around bad people. I think if you put semi-bad people around bad people, you're going to make worse people. Semi-bad people need to be around good people and to be taught to be good people. Bad people need to be with bad people until they can learn to be good people. I just don't think it's good to house these people together. I think prison should be different. Like if you're in prison for murder, everybody in that prison should be in there for murder. Okay. You shouldn't be in there with a guy that maybe had some domestic violence charges or stole somebody's microwave so he could go get high. And the dude you're sleeping next to is a murderer. I don't think prisons should work like that. I think you should be housed by your crime that you committed, right? If you the big R word to women or kids or anybody, you should be in there with all those same people. So when you go to sleep at night, you got to sleep with one eye open. Not every other inmate should have to sleep with one eye open, but you got to sleep with one eye open too, because everybody around you is your equal, right? They may got to get your cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you trying to get their cheeks, everybody's trying to get cheeks. All these people should be put together, right? So housed by their crimes, you don't want to put, but the system we got right now is everybody's thrown in there with each other. And that's why there's the chaos that it is. Now, I hope they put him in a cell with the biggest, baddest dude that wants his cheeks. That's what he deserves. The worst, right? You know what they need to do is they need to throw him in a cell with a bunch of real white guys. It's what they need to do. And that's what I say. And then let them figure it out. Let them figure out the punishment, because I'm sure they'll come up with one. This whole thing, how he acts is like unbelievable. Big Bubba. Yeah, put him in there with Big Bubba. I don't care if they put him in there with Little Bubba. This dude is like a wet noodle, but he will try to hurt you. Like, that's what I'm saying. You really can't judge a book by its cover, because this dude looks like he's kind of tall and lanky, but 160 pounds, soaking wet. Don't look like he could fight his way out of a wet bag, but yet he's anybody can kill people with a weapon. It don't take much of a person to kill somebody with a weapon. But I bet you he couldn't throw them hands to save his life. Triple D, yeah, that he needs Guantanamo Bay. That's what I was thinking when I said when they wouldn't tell his location. I was thinking, well, maybe they're going to send him to Guantanamo Bay. We got to bring back some harsher punishments for these monsters. I know it sounds terrible, and everybody's like, well, what about the innocent people, Dolly? You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? Sometimes, you find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong times. It's just really bad luck, karma for what you did in your past life. But we can't let, we're like, well, what if we do this to an innocent person? Well, what if we do this to guilty people? That's how I look at it. I'm sure there's more guilty people in jail than there are innocent people. Because if you go to any jail and ask anybody, are you guilty or innocent? Everybody in there is going to tell you they're innocent. What I found out is there's not one guilty person in jail. Okay. From my state there wasn't one guilty person. Anybody you ask, hey, did you do it? Nah, man. They're accusing me of this, but I didn't. Hey, man, did you do it? Nah, man. I had $300 worth of Walmart shit in a buggy, and I was going to go back in and pay for it. I swear. Hey, man, did you do it? Nah, man, I didn't beat up my old lady. Her eyes were black when I got there. Everybody's innocent, right? Everybody in the whole place is innocent. So should none of them people be punished, right? None of them, right? Because they're all innocent. Ask them. You can go to any jail in the country right now and pick a random person and go, hey, did you do it? They're going to be like, no, I didn't do it. Like, have you ever seen that show, I'm a Killer, on Netflix? They all start with, well, I'm being accused of, I'm being accused of. Every now and then, every blue moon, you'll get one person to say they did it, right? After they know they ain't getting out and they're never leaving, they accept the fact that, hey, I'm guilty. And they'll be like, yeah, I chopped the bitch up. You know what I'm saying? But it's very rare. But in jail, there's none of that. Everybody's innocent. Everybody is absolutely innocent. At work, but love a dolly dump. Great work on this case, Dolly and PJ. Thank you, guys. It's good to see that it's coming to an end. I mean, we really won't get in the answers we're looking for until more information comes out and these court dates come up and we see what they have against them and what their defense is, right? So, Tiff, he's seen me. He totally has selective eyesight. I don't see everything. I see now, PJ. Did you say something I needed to see? I was on a Dolly rant. I can't leave him alone for a minute. Okay, I've seen that. I mean, I'm just sharing how I think the system should be. Yes, this is the press conference we were watching.
And the lengthy work will start at this point. Investigations do not end when a person is arrested. That's just the part to get them into custody.
Dolly, you're good people in my book. Jimmy, you helped look for my missing family member. Who was your missing family member? Who was it? I've been looking for so many people now. I'm damn halfway lost count of the people I've looked for. Who was your family member? Janelle Silver. Who was your family member? I'm curious now. I'll wait. Martin. He thought me down a flight of stairs too. Blah, blah, blah. You met my cousin Patrick. What was his last name? Oh, yes. Yes, his kid in Fredericksburg. Okay. The redhead boy that was in Florida, Dolly. Okay, yeah, I remember him. The runner. He was a runner. Yeah, I didn't see that coming, that he had got so far away. But yeah, that's I'm glad he's okay. That's one of the good stories, right? That's one of the good stories. Like, yeah, it's kind of stressful on his family. But he was just living it. He went on vacation. I don't even know if he was missing. He was just on vacation. He's like, yo, I'm going to Florida for a week, right? I'm wired, tough me. The Wire taught me all I know about U.S. prisons. The Wire taught you everything you know about U.S. prisons? Yeah, that young man, he just went on vacation for a little bit. He needed a little break. And just thank God he called his family. What is his birthday or something that he called and said, hey, I'm in Florida. Come get me. He made it a pretty good ways away from Virginia to Florida. That's a pretty good jump. But listen, I'd rather hear that story in that way then something bad happened to him. And, you know, especially when he was, some people needed some space, you know, I mean, he was young, but he may have needed that space. So, you know, I'm glad he was found and he did contact his family. He was like 17 years old and he was going through some counseling with his family and he got upset. The counseling got a little tough on him and he got upset. He walked out the building and he ran from his dad and he jumped this fence into this neighborhood and he vanished. And then when they found him, he was in Florida. He had took a bus. He had jumped on a bus to Florida. So we was up in Fredericksburg, droning the woods in the area. Your cousin adopted him. Yeah. And we were droning the area looking for him. I found a lot of homeless people. Didn't find him. And then we got the call that his dad had talked to him or his mom had talked to him and that he was okay and he was safe. And it was getting cold. So me and PJ got some coffee and drove from, we had a 3-hour ride back from Fredericksburg, but we rode up there that morning, searched for him that day. And by that night he was found and thank God. Listen, I'd rather go somewhere for nothing and the person be okay than get there and they not be okay. Right. So that's the most important thing is these people are found alive and, you know, and if somebody's hurt somebody, that justice is served. We just try to help where we can help. We know we can't help everybody, but some people we can, or we do our best to try to help. And we don't never ask for nothing to help people. We just do it. Right. Because this channel right here is financed by you guys from y'all super chats, from y'all liking the video, watching the videos. That's the reason we're able to do these things, right? We went and searched right after that. We went and searched for Juan Sebastian. Remember him? He was found tragically in the ice. That young man didn't make it. He fell through the ice and lost his life. We much rather hear about people that jump on a bus and go on vacation than the young man. We just want a happy ending to these stories, right? And there's so many of them that end in tragedies, not too many of them end good. We were talking, me and PJ was talking the other night about the little girl that ran away from home, and I showed up out there and they found her that day. That was a good ending, right? She had stayed in a trailer and she went to the neighbor's house and asked the neighbor if there was something she could do to earn some money because she was hungry. And the little girl was like 9 years old. I've been out there searching and searching and searching for her. And they found her. And I was like, thank God. And then y'all guys remember Avra Hooks. I went out there with her dad, Jim, from Tennessee. He was from Tennessee. But his daughter went missing in Northern Virginia. I believe Lynchburg. I think it was Lynchburg. We get there, me and Jim searching and searching and searching. And he attacks her baby daddy. And the police get there and they pop the trunk of his car and her body's in the trunk. That ended bad. All right, hold on a second. Producer's calling. Dolly. What's up? All right, that's my producer saying she's on the way. So I got to get ready to wrap this up, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me today. Thank God this man's off the streets and ain't able to hurt anybody else. So to me, this is the ending we wanted. Well, and not quite. We wanted to hear some stop resisting, right? Stop resisting. Something, right? But he surrendered without a fight. What a coward. What a coward of a man. I hope his life is hell in prison. See you tomorrow, Dolly and PJ. I will be back tonight. I will be back tonight for my true crime show. I haven't been able to do it lately because we've been so busy on this, but I will be back tonight for some true crime. So make sure you tune in. All right. I got to run through the PO box. We got to do some running around. So I don't know exactly what time tonight. It'll be sometime probably after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all tune in with me and hang out and all that good stuff. Don't forget the merch store, buydollysoap.com. We got t-shirts, hoodies, soap, good way to support the channel, right? Help us keep our mission alive and doing what we do. Buydollysoap.com. And don't forget, if nobody else does, Dolly still loves y'all fools. All right. Peace.